Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
If somehow the Cowboys happen to beat the Green Bay Packers this weekend, it doesn't mean anything for Dallas. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray Andrew Perloff. So good to be back, Pearl. And, you know, it's just not what anyone thinks it would be. I don't think it would.
I'm just curious. Yeah. What planet do you live on? Are you crazy? It doesn't. You're right. It doesn't mean something. It means everything. If they win this game, the Earth will tilt on its axis.
No, it won't. It won't prove that anything that Dallas has done, A, made sense, or two, that it means things are fixed. What it would mean is that they got up for one game, or that things are really, kind of crazy in Green Bay. And I just don't see that this is going to be like the moment where Jerry, air quotes, wins the trade with Micah or Green Bay if they just happen to win this game. It feels like a miracle considering all of the Dallas injuries that are stacking up, but that's exactly what it is. Miracles aren't something that's sustained. That's not consistency. A miracle is something that happens when nobody's expecting it, and then you get what afterwards? You get awesome. Your schedule lightens up. You get to play the Jets and the Carolina Panthers. That's just the function of the schedule. That doesn't mean anything with the Cowboys is fixed or better.
I mean, if they find a way to win with all these injuries, they win the trade. They're talking playoffs. Like, everything changes. I'm not sure exactly what you mean. And you're right. They do have their road games at the Jets and the Panthers. So that's the schedule makers throw them a bone. Well, not really, because I mean, they're on the road. Not anything can happen on the road. Even if they beat Green Bay, that doesn't guarantee a single thing. I mean, the Jets almost took out the Bucs on the road, and the Panthers just won 30-0. Either of those teams could easily beat the Cowboys. Let's be clear about that. I don't even think the Cowboys are going to be big favorites in either game, or they might not even be favorites with the injuries. But that being said, they go to 2-2, and Green Bay goes to 2-2. You don't think the narrative is that they won that trade? Because Green Bay will look like a mess, and Dallas will look like a potential playoff team. And the reason they'll be a playoff team, you will make the argument that Dak Prescott is the key to the whole project. Like, when Dak plays, they win at a high level. So that's what Jerry will say, and that's going to be the narrative if they win this game. Yeah, I don't see it that way. I see it as it would be 1 week. Like, are we looking at the Cleveland Browns and saying, oh my gosh, Cleveland Browns, are they now a playoff team? No, but they're 1-2.
Of course we're not.
If they go to 2-2, then maybe we are.
I don't think so. I think that we would say, well, they got a good unit here on defense, and they were at home, and they got the better of a team in Green Bay that ultimately is going to be, a playoff team. And this team, whether it's Cleveland last week who beat the Packers unexpectedly, or whether it's Dallas, if they can pull this off, we would say, wow, what a one-off.
If Cleveland wins, they're at Detroit this week. We will definitely 100% say that is a playoff team.
Okay, if you could beat two good teams in a row.
Right, which would be, okay.
The Dallas Cowboys beat the Giants. The Giants are a dumpster fire, and they let Russell Wilson go run roughshod all over them.
If Dallas can beat Green Bay, though, that changes the entire picture.
No, to me it doesn't. To me it just is it's like that blip in the season where you're going to get a high point. Jerry gets to get a go around peacock, and I knew it the whole time. This is the team we really wanted. And ultimately, it's not going to mean a whole hill of beans. I'm looking at what is going on with Dallas really inside the numbers, Pearl. And listen, on offense, yes, it looks good. Points per game, they're 10th in the league. Yards per game, they're 4th in the league. This is Dak Prescott, right? And looking good. And now they've got injuries to CeeDee Lamb, who may go on IR. Have we got an update on they're actually doing that yet? Anyway.
Yeah, though he says he wants to play, so.
We'll see. And then the defense, everything is low to the bottom in terms of rankings, if not literally the bottom. So, no, you really can't convince me that if they somehow win this game, that it means that somehow Dallas is like the big winners of this thing. Because here's the other part. What if Green Bay ends up, are they going to win the division now? I don't know. Detroit's coming on pretty strong. That was a really great showing they had against Baltimore on Monday night rather. Maybe they don't win the division, but everyone believes that Green Bay is going to be a playoff team, and I don't think everyone would be like squinting to see Dallas as a playoff team, even if they win.
I mean, if the Dallas goes to 2-2 and beats Green Bay, then Jets, Panthers, Commanders with a possibly injured quarterback. Denver has not looked good. Arizona has actually not looked good despite their record, and Vegas. I mean, the Cowboys could put together a really good record here, which gets you into the playoffs last I checked. So that's what it's about, your win-loss record. And by the way, I don't think it matters. Even if they do get in the playoffs, they have no chance.
Well, that's what I'm saying. One team's got Super Bowl expectations. The other's got, oh, my gosh, if we hung on and got the wild card.
But that'd be a great season for Dallas. I know that's not
God.
what... You don't think getting to the playoffs after trading Micah Parsons would be a success? And then you have two number ones the next couple of years. So you still are building for the future. I think that would be considered for Jerry, Jerry's turning everything into a success these days. He's not even, as you started off this train by saying Jerry doesn't want to win a Super Bowl. He just wants to stay relevant.
Yeah.
For him to get to the playoffs this year, which I don't think is going to happen, by the way. I don't think they're going to win this game on Sunday night. If he gets to the playoffs this year, that'll be one of the great triumphs of his football career. I'm being serious.
I mean, how sad is that? It's week 4. That's a sad state of affairs.
He's the
general manager of the dang team. Like, that can't be your goal. Although, let's hear from Jerry. He did confirm on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas yesterday, sister station down there. Those guys do a great job. He did confirm he has extra motivation to beat Micah Parsons.
Jerry, do you feel any extra competitive drive to win this week with Micah Parsons coming back?
Yes, I do. And I think that, of course, I have said this time and time again. I think the world of Micah, and as an individual, and of course, know him well. And I might say I wish him well, except it's obvious I don't this weekend in terms of Green Bay winning the ball game.
Yeah.
When you're general manager, of which I am,
with you. Okay, if this is your Super Bowl, Dallas Cowboys, congrats. This is it, and that's sad because it's not like you're not paying other people. And by the way, you're paying Dak, you're paying CD, but by the way, Jerry wanted to pat himself on the back over this trade. I knew in March I was going to trade him. That was one of the lines that we got from Jerry, right? I knew early. Maybe it wasn't March, it was April, right? Knew around the draft, knew I was going to trade him. Played you all for fools, you media dopes. I only used you to try to get the trade value up for Micah. I was doing this the whole time, not talking to his agent. Who's the smartest guy in the room? Congrats. Week 4 is your Super Bowl. And we'll see where the Packers actually land with the season really actually being about the Super Bowl. See, to me, this is why even if the Cowboys win, it doesn't mean that Jerry's won the trade.
Honestly, I feel like you're 6 months too late. Like, you're kicking Jerry now? Like, what are you doing here, Maggie? When you're breaking down his quotes? What are we doing here? I mean,
he said that.
I understand. I know. But
although
he says a lot of things.
I know he says a lot of things. That's the problem with Jerry.
Yeah, I think
floods the zone.
I think you're taking them too seriously to even think Super Bowl as a potential. Like, yes, this team getting the playoffs would be a huge W for this team because they kind of gave up on the season when they traded Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
They traded their best player. I would argue he's probably better than Dak. Now, we'll see because Micah's not big, so he could get injured. And then Jerry does actually win the trade because that's kind of what he said the reason was. He's like, Micah hasn't been out here consistently because he got hurt last year. So, I mean, listen, first of all, the Cowboys are probably not winning this game. And you're saying like, oh, congratulations on making the playoffs. Big deal. That would be a big deal because it's more likely that they get killed on Sunday night. And we're looking at a very long season, right? I mean, I don't think losing is going to feel fun in Dallas. I think they'd rather win a few of these games. Like, I think it's a big deal.
Yeah,
even if there's no Super Bowl at the end of it. And I agree with that. I think actually the symbolism matters to some extent, but which is kind of lame, I admit. It's not out of strength that the symbolism matters, but winning a few games would feel good.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Would beating the Packers make you feel better about the Cowboys, Cowboy fans? It'd be like a short dopamine hit, but I don't know if it actually matters as far as the long run is concerned. I still think this was all flawed. But
well, yeah.
Here's another part.
Yeah.
I think Jerry also miscalculated something here, which is shocker. Stop me if you heard that. But I do think he's miscalculated something here, which is you're a huge underdog in the game. You've got all these injuries, but you do have a Green Bay team that is either coming in feeling one of two ways, either extra motivated because they just lost on a last-second field goal to the Cleveland Browns, of all people, but they could also be feeling a little tight. Have you heard some of the conversations going on around the Green Bay Packers right now? Jordan Love is not the guy. Matt LaFleur is in the crosshairs. Like, it's it's a little harsher than I expected in Wisconsin.
I have not heard that. So they're coming after LaFleur.
Coming after LaFleur, coming after Jordan Love. And I wonder, Micah Parsons also got flagged for a big penalty on that final drive that put Cleveland in field position, better field position to kick that game-winning field goal. I wonder if the Green Bay Packers are coming in a little tight. And now Jerry just put all this extra pressure. Like, Cowboys could have been playing free and easy loose. Hey, no one expects us to win this game. And, we're the clear underdogs here. All the pressure's on Green Bay. And I think he flipped that by basically saying, this is our Super Bowl.
Yeah, I looked at the Packers' loss a little differently. Like, they needed that loss. It was sort of a early season Patriots loss. Like, they had their guy had the comment that he thought they could go undefeated.
Yeah, the offensive lineman.
Yeah, so those early losses are big for teams. Like, you could coach off of something. It's sort of that was
refocus.
A much needed wake up call after the first 2 weeks. And also Green Bay and Cleveland came into that game as the 1 and 2 best defenses in the league. So they ran into literally the best defense in the league. That is not going to be the case this week.
No, so they're one of the worst defenses in the league. In fact,
think Cleveland really should be 2-1. They're a much better team than I think you're like, oh, they lost at Cleveland. Like, Cleveland should have beat Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. They missed a field goal. So I'm not sure I view the Cleveland thing exactly the same way. I think that Dallas is going to be a lot easier than Cleveland. I mean, the only issue is it's on the road, but a beat-up Dallas team should be much easier living than Cleveland.
We'll get into what Micah Parsons had to say about Dak Prescott in just a little bit, but we're asking you, would beating the Packers make you feel better about the Cowboys' entire situation? I think it'd be like how you feel good after you eat a candy bar, because all of a sudden you get a little energy and it tastes great, but then an hour later you feel hungry again, your blood sugar has taken a nosedive, and ultimately you're like, did I need that candy bar?
It depends on the candy bar.
Snickers.
Definitely need it.
Was I hungry?
Well, we could get Butterfinger. I don't know.
Oh, no. Butterfinger? No, you lost me now.
Not Butterfinger.
No, come on.
Yeah, I like Butterfinger.
Yeah, but I mean,
freak.
What if after the candy bar, you know that there's 2 more candy bars coming because you have the Jets and the Panthers next. So you know that it's a different situation when you have 3 Butterfingers lined up.
See, no, that's
like
a
Halloween night. It's
the more candy you have, the worse you're gonna feel, right?
But if you have enough candy, you get the Lombardi Trophy. Like, what are you talking about? Like, give me candy.
I think I'm in candy mode because all the Halloween candy is out. Have you guys noticed this? It's all out.
No, I haven't been to a store in 2 weeks.
Our family is more of a, when is the pumpkin stuff going to get to Trader Joe's? And it has arrived.
It's arrived.
And Starbucks. So
I thought that got here in like August.
Yeah, all the candy's here. The decorations are starting to go up in our neighborhood. They're up. Some people have like full graveyards and stuff, like the people who are really into it. All their big, gigantic skeletons.
Anybody start to check out any potential costumes?
Yeah, I have a few.
Well, Lita's we already know what her costume is, so then that determines what my costume is.
Your dog.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to be...
Superdog.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's crypto.
Yeah.
So I got to be Superman.
Nerds.
You have to be Superman.
Yeah.
Hopefully your costume...
What a stretch.
Hopefully your costume will be better than that movie. Oh.
That's just, you're wrong. So.
Jeez Louise.
I know. Well, we all dress up on this show, so I guess, we should start thinking about it. Remember last year, I dressed up as Slash from Guns N' Roses, and Perloff looks at me, we come and he goes, not sports? I was like, oh, right. I probably should have done some sports-related costume.
I wasn't around yet.
It's your first Halloween with the show.
Yeah, welcome. Hi, my name's Manny.
Manny, I feel like Halloween is a great time to be a single guy and go out there, which makes me believe that you stay home and watch like
Knicks preseason.
Are you kidding? No,
Knicks regular season.
It's regular season at that point. Are you kidding me? A little Halloween night NBA action?
Yeah,
yeah.
You will not go out probably. It's like the easiest night of the year to hook up, and you will stay at home and watch basketball.
Indubitably.
You're the worst.
I am the worst.
This is when women can turn any costume into something slutty.
Right, but there's an opportunity for Luka Doncic to do something slutty on the
court. Manny, we love you. Never change. 888-710-4ISN. The question is, would beating the Packers make you feel better about the Cowboys' entire situation?
Why did you say we love you? You say I love you because I want you to change desperately. It drives me crazy.
It's called authenticity, Pearl. You can't find that kind of reality.
Also, it's called major mental illness that he will not leave his house to watch that Knicks. I mean, obviously, like even a psychiatrist can't help you with that.
It's worked for me for 28 years so far. Not well, but it's worked.
You could dress up as, like, I don't know, Marcus Camby.
You could dress up as that Yankees player you love so much.
Oh, yeah. Be
Trent Grisham.
Trent Grisham.
You really forgot his name, didn't you?
I was off yesterday.
Come on.
Forgive me. 888-710-4ISN.
It's football season, dude. Nobody remembers his name.
Postseason. Are you kidding me? I'm a Giants. Well, actually, never mind.
Yeah, fair point.
How about the Yankees clinching their 60th postseason berth yesterday, and on the same day, the Mariners. And I was like, I wonder how many postseasons. 6th.
6?
Haven't been around nearly as long, obviously.
But they weren't they? Is that the same team that was the Pilots once upon a time?
That sounds like research for you to do.
By the Mariners.
888-710-4ISN.
They've been around since the 70s.
Yeah, but not the Yankees.
Yeah, but the playoffs really, like the real, like
That's
getting
true.
the playoffs started in the 60s and 70s. That's pathetic.
You know, Andre made me defend the Yankees because we were leaving the Boston airport.
It's the New York Yankees, damn it.
We're leaving the Boston airport, and I'm sure you guys have been there, where they have all the championship banners for all the teams that are there.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, why don't we do that in New York? I'm like, the Yankees have more championships than all these teams combined, including the Celtics.
Wait, now I want to make sure I'm right here about the Seattle thing. Hold on.
Sounds right, 6. Yeah.
I think so, right?
They've never made the World Series, obviously.
They made it, last year for
Yeah.
the first time in, 20 years?
Yeah. 1,
They didn't make
2,
it while
3,
Ichiro was there
4,
a couple of
5.
times.
This will be the 6th year.
Good Lord.
Yeah, no, they're not good.
888-710-4ISN.
Historically.
This year they are. Okay, the question is
historically.
the Cowboys. Would beating the Packers make you feel better about the Cowboys situation? That's on tap for you. We also have so much to do today. How much news broke yesterday? It was like every 5 seconds. The Giants are starting a new quarterback.
Oh, finally.
What's going to change? We'll tell you. Also, we got an update on Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer, who's going to miss some weeks. Now he's got to have surgery on his hand. So much to do. It's the Maggie and Perloff Show.
All right, Maggie, by the way, I know you guys are up and down with your Mets. I know that you're going to jump back on the bandwagon now that they're headed to the playoffs probably. But I'll tell you the best way to jump in. You can get Francisco Lindor, 6.5 hitter fantasy score on Prize Picks tonight. Prize Picks is the best way to put your takes to the test. It's so simple to use. Pick 2 or more players across any sport. You can pick 2 Mets, Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor if you want. You pick more or less on their projections. And if you're right, you could win big.
Perloff, Prize Picks is what we're obsessed with. It's the first thing we talk about in the morning when we get to the show, and it's the last thing we talk about before we leave for the day. And you can be in on the action and play along with us. Just download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code MNP. Get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code MNP on Prize Picks. Get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play just $5. So win or lose, you get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Mand P. You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right. Yeah.
Look at how happy you guys are.
Here we go.
Be sad during this song.
All right, back on Maggie Perloff. Manny, what was that song that I was singing during the pre-show? There was another 70s funk song that got everyone in a good mood.
I looked it up while you skedaddled. It was Tell Me Something Good by Rufus.
Yeah, there
song.
we go. Yeah. I mean, how can anyone not love this? Is like the soundtrack to the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It's always put you in a good mood.
But this is I Believe in Miracles because you're talking about if the Cowboys beat the Packers, it would be a miracle. But what would it actually mean?
I mean, of course it'd be incredible. It's a 7-point spread, so a miracle might be strong. If the Saints can make the playoffs, that's a miracle. But I think this would mean everything. First of all, it would mean everything to Jerry. Beyond everything. I think that's what you reacted to.
How lame is that?
What are you talking about?
He decided to trade away Micah Parsons. Of course, talking about Packers coming in to play the Cowboys this weekend, and we're asking, would you feel better about everything with the Cowboys if they do beat the Packers? But it's week 4. We're watching a documentary series. What was that? 6 parts, 8 parts about the glory days of the Cowboys and winning Super Bowls. You're so far from that you now are looking at week 4 against a guy you traded away. Okay, and because of all these different reasons, and this is your Super Bowl? Gosh, how far the mighty have fallen.
Maggie, I feel like you're at least a year behind on this thing. Like, you're ripping Jerry now? Like, what? Have you noticed they haven't been back to the NFC title game since 1995?
I know, but then you hit on a generational guy.
Which one?
Parsons.
Yes, that's true. Unless Jerry's right, he's too small and he's going to get hurt eventually.
Well, we'll see. But you decide to pay Dak Prescott again. So that's 3 times now that you paid Dak.
Yeah,
and
he's really good.
Okay, and you've decided to pay CeeDee Lamb, which is totally fine.
He's amazing.
And you had nothing, you didn't plan and have foresight for Parsons. And then you tried to reverse engineer the thing and say this was the plan the whole time because we could turn Micah Parsons into 4 or 5 different players, where you couldn't have turned CeeDee Lamb into 4 or 5 different players?
Why would you? He's the single best receiver in the NFL.
CeeDee Lamb?
By a lot of metrics. I read that the other day. It's like CeeDee is taken up. I know he had a couple drops, but like he's definitely in the top 3.
And
There's no way he's better than Jamar Chase.
Or Justin Jefferson.
No way.
He's really close. I mean, he's really close.
All right, well, he's getting paid like it. But let's just talk about his value on the trade market, because he could have gotten you, well, not now, obviously, but before you paid him, he could have also netted you probably something similar to what you got from Micah Parsons. And I'd rather be looking for wide receivers than pass rushers, but that's me. Let's go to the phones, 888-710-4ISN. Let's go to Jason in D.C., the Cowboy fan living in enemy territory. What's up, Jason?
Hey, good morning, Maggie. How are you this morning?
We're great.
Good. Couple of things, Maggie. Yes, I would feel a little better about this trade if we were able to beat the Packers, because we still have people that are out there that are saying that we should have never traded him. And number 2, I would like to hear your opinion, your answer about this trade. I think at least 3 to 4 years down the road, we won't know how this trade actually, who got the better of the deal, was it the Cowboys, was it the Packers? The Packers have to win a Super Bowl in order to justify this Micah Parsons trade. We don't have to win a Super Bowl. But if it makes us a better team 3 or 4 years down the road that puts us in a position to compete better for a Super Bowl, then I think we got the better of the trade. I'll hang up and listen.
Jason, I mean, I'm going to be honest and appreciate the call. Loser's lament. And I don't even know if the Packers actually have to win the Super Bowl. I think they have to get there for sure, but they were already trending in that direction. To say, well, in 3 or 4 years we want to be better than we are, yeah, I hope so. I mean, yeah, well, I would hope. I would think.
Lament in what sense?
Well, you're saying that you're basically acknowledging that Super Bowl is completely off the table for the Cowboys.
With or without Micah, it's completely off the table.
Okay, so that's the loser's lament, because what are we all doing here, right? And Jerry's trying to tell you he's playing 3D chess about building his team. And your whole goal is to just be better? Look at the Eagles. What do you think their goal is? Not to just be better. Like, it just feels like a loser's lament to me. That's all. Rick is in Fort Worth. Good morning, Rick. Would a Cowboys win make you feel better about your situation?
Hey, good morning, guys. No. The flat answer is no. I mean, we're in a dismal state here in Dallas, and it's been that way, as your co-host said, for 30-plus years. Haven't been to an NFC Championship game since 1995. We paid Dak again. CD's hurt. Even when CD was on the field, he was dropping the ball. It wasn't great. This defense is horrible. It is the Doomsday defense, not the Doomsday defense. But, you've got Elam, our second-best corner on the field, who has no idea what he's doing. Even Diggs, our number 1 corner, because Deron Bland is out right now, is getting burned and torched for touchdowns. And these are million-dollar players. We do not feel good. I've been a Cowboys fan since I was 9 years old. I remember the glory days. Those are so far gone. There's dust on the trophies. We have absolutely no hope here in Dallas. It is horrible, and I mean, really the only hope is that we can wait for Manning to come out of UT to be our new quarterback here in the next year.
Oh, no, Rick. Wait a minute. Thank you for the phone call. I'm sorry. Things at the despair level is that high, but even Arch doesn't even look like the savior anymore. Far from it.
Well, I mean, listen, that's getting way ahead of it. That's the one thing. Dak is only 32, which cracks me up. He feels like he's like 38. It feels like he's at the end. He could be your quarterback for the next 8 years. It feels like quarterback is not the problem. And I know you guys, you and EJ both were down on CeeDee Lamb. Like, don't tell me you're down on Dak. Dak was throwing darts.
He has to.
But even if he has to or not, he's a really good quarterback. So you have a really good quarterback and a really good receiver. But the problem is, who do you have after CeeDee Lamb?
Well, George Pickens.
Oh, come on. Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
That's the actual answer, but
yeah,
I don't know
I'm just saying, like,
it's
just not there on offense. But obviously, the problem now is defense. Listen, forget Super Bowl; it's not happening. Can you squint and see this future with 2 number ones the next 2 seasons as possibly something? Because they weren't getting anywhere this year with Micah Parsons. Do you think that defense is a Micah Parsons away from winning the Super Bowl? Diggs, unfortunately, has had serious health problems, and you can see it is now catching up to him. Deron Bland might play this week, but he's had health problems. Everybody's hurt. The whole O-line is hurt. BB's hurt. Booker's hurt. Like, it wasn't going to happen this year. So maybe you look towards the future. That being said, if they miraculously beat Green Bay and sneak it, they could sneak it in the playoffs. And that is a big win. And it's like, you're still thinking Super Bowl for Dallas? Like, if Carolina Panthers make the playoffs, wouldn't you be excited?
Oh, no. Super Bowl this year, no, but I'm saying it's like Cowboy fans we just talked to have completely written it off ever. And you have these you have these draft picks, like, maybe you might get lucky enough and draft somebody as good as Micah Parsons, who you just had in the building.
Maybe someday Jerry will step down and you'll really rebuild in a different way.
I don't think that's happening. Let's get to...
I think Mother Nature might have other ideas on that one. He's 83. He'll retire eventually. He'll retire eventually.
Eventually is a fluid term, but...
I think within 2 years he will step down and give it to Steven. Like,
Wow, that's not that long.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll be 80... He'll be 86. I think that'll probably be enough. And I'll say, Steven, you're really the president of the team. Don't you think? I mean, is that crazy?
No, I think this is
Am I wrong about that?
I want to try to say this in as respectful way as I humanly can. I think he will be on the job till the last moments. Whether that's in name only or he will be the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys with that title until he takes his last breath, which I hope is very, very far from now. I'm not saying that.
When you're general manager, of which I am.
I don't think he's ever giving it up. It's one of those like people who are obsessed with work. We all have people like this in our lives, and it's like if you take it away from them, I think he will. I say this without being morbid. He'll die with the title.
No, I don't.
Whenever that is, 90, 95, hopefully a long, long time from now.
Like a Supreme Court justice.
I think he'll step back at some point. I really do. I mean, when you're 86 years old, I think that he will not get involved in negotiations. I think he probably has stepped back to a large degree already.
He just did the Micah Parsons deal basically on his own.
Yeah, but I don't
stop bragging about it.
You're right. But even like
that will be the last one. You think?
Do you think he's like really made all 7 rounds of draft picks? Probably not for a while. Not. But I just think that I don't think at 86 he'll even be doing that deal.
Oh, it's going to be him and Dak again sitting across from each other. He
turns 83 on October 13th, so that's pretty soon. Yeah, I mean. Hopefully he lives a long, happy life, but to be the GM into your 90s, I don't know.
Let's get to Andrew Bogusch. EJ, if you don't mind putting the poll question up there, would beating the Packers make you feel better about the Cowboys? Yes, no. Is it already up there? Thank you. Bogusch, what's up, dude?
Guys, good morning. Your headlines are sponsored by Prize Picks. Don't miss any of the action this football season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Download Prize Picks, use code PRIMETIME. I'm going to hug him. And get a $50 bonus credit instantly when you play $5. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Down goes Anderson!
Down
goes Anderson!
Okay, Tom. On July 8th, the Detroit Tigers were 15 and a half games ahead of the Cleveland Guardians. That gap was still 12 and a half games on August 25th, and now it is all gone.
Anel Martinez, he bunts first base line. Picked up by Skubal. Underhand between the legs, flip down the right field line into foul ground. He airmailed it, getting cute. Tarek Skubal pretending he was an NFL center. Instead of hiking the ball to the quarterback, he hiked it to the end zone.
Did you get all of that from Tom Hamilton on Tigers Radio?
Well
Detroit A's Tarek Skubal fielding that bunt with his back to first base, trying to throw through his legs, but sent it down the right field line. The butt error fueling a 3-run inning, which fueled a 5-2 Guardians win. These two are now tied, but Cleveland is in first because they own the season series tiebreaker.
Unbelievable.
Outfielder Stephen Kwan postgame on FanDuel Sportsnet.
I think it starts from the top. Voter doesn't let us get too big. Just try to take it day by day, I'm just thankful we're playing some meaningful baseball right now. A couple months ago, we weren't playing our best baseball. So to be able to kind of have this stretch and have everybody in Cleveland show up, this is real special.
The Guardians are 17-5 in September, while the Tigers have lost 7 straight, 10 of 11. I believe this would be the largest blown lead, divisional lead, ever. And there's also a chance that the Tigers don't make the playoffs at all.
Yeah.
Because they might even be a wild card if they can't stop this bleeding games. Maggie just counted it out for you. The Mariners clinching playoff appearance number 6 last night with a 4-3 rally over the Rockies. And the Yankees scored twice, bottom 9 to beat the White Sox 3-2, clinching their spot as well. The Bombers also closing to within a game of the Jays atop the AL East because Toronto lost to Boston 4-1.
It's the New York Yankees, damn it.
NFL injury news from yesterday. Bucks wideout Mike Evans expected to miss 3 to 4 weeks with his latest hamstring issue. The Jets placing linebacker Quincy Williams on IR with a non-season-ending shoulder injury. And Commanders receiver Terry McLaurin seeking more opinions on the quad injury he picked up Sunday. That, of course, on top of Jaden Daniels remaining day-to-day with his knee injury. The day after his I'm 40, I'm a man rant turned 18 years old.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
The man itself. Mike Gundy shown the door at Oklahoma State yesterday. AD Chad Weiberg had finally seen enough.
This isn't about one moment. If we were stacking up moments, right, there's a whole lot of moments that are in the good category. But this is about the bigger picture. And absolutely, our donors and our fans are critically important.
Losing to Tulsa on Friday, one of those bad moments. The Cowboys have lost 11 straight games against FBS opponents. There was that winless Big 12 campaign a year ago. So out goes Gundy in year number 21. Offensive coordinator Doug Meacham is the interim replacement.
I have a question here about this. We can unpack Gundy, and he became like a caricature of himself. And especially with the I'm a man, I'm 40, which was 18 years ago. But why did they wait till Tuesday? You have a game this weekend. Why, if they knew they were going to fire him, why did they just fire him on Sunday?
I assumed that they maybe had a conversation being like, hey, bro, you want to step aside because you're a legend and we don't want to embarrass you? And he said, I have 3 years on my contract. And they said, okay,
adios. Went to that.
And also he has a buyout that I'm sure he wants to collect the $15 million coming his
that's
way.
fine. And he could want that money, but this can't get all ironed out 2 days ago. And maybe 2 days doesn't matter, but you do have you're not on a bye. You had a bye week after you got it handed to you by Oregon.
Yeah, I think some of this had to do with them wanting this to be more graceful than maybe he was willing to allow it to be. He was very defiant that he was not going anywhere and that he planned to stay there as long as his contract was there. So when I think of the delay, I think that probably conversations being had that didn't go well because he's Mike Gundy.
Sure.
So then now he doesn't have a job.
Maybe it was nobody works on Sunday there. I mean, dead serious.
True, it's possible too.
I mean, this is college administrators. It's not exactly a burn the midnight
Amazon?
oil job.
Well, Twitter. It was still Monday.
Do you think that they were straightening out whether they had the money or not to buy him out?
Oh, that I can't. I mean, I know that
he went winless last year in the conference.
They already knew.
You had to have had these conversations.
They restructured his contract already, so I feel like that accounting should have happened a long time ago.
I feel like buyouts are harder now because you can exactly see where that money could go into players. I feel like teams are not. Buyouts used to be no big deal because they were just all the money went to the school. Now I think those buyouts, they could see, oh my God, we just gave up 3 tackles and a quarterback for Mike Gundy's buyout.
I know, how sick am I where I was like, well, $15 million, not bad. Because everything after that Jimbo Fisher buyout of $70 million seems quaint.
I think hiring a coach that's kind of like a cult of personality is kind of overrated now because really it's about acquiring players.
You
can't acquire
money.
players.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a time where the coach combined with whatever boosters were giving people under the table was important, but now I think it's all about NIL.
Should you say the GM era has now officially kicked off in college football?
I think we're here.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it still feels like maybe, but like a Nick Saban feels like he could have. I guess he walked away.
Well,
he could have some impact.
We talked about, are the blue bloods of college football going to go away now because everything's going to be so much more even potentially with it's now just about, do you have money, do you not do you have tradition?
Yeah,
well, you're right. But look at the rankings. There are a lot of blue bloods.
Yeah. Still, it's not going to happen overnight.
But I think any coach, especially a coach who's getting like a promotion, has to show that he can bring money with him, that he's got money, that he's got
that's why you need the juice. You need the good personality for the donors now.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be, well, not only
not like Chip Kelly, who was like a wet blanket, and not that UCLA was flush with cash anyway, but he did not help when he was at UCLA when all these changes happened.
Right, or like I've seen the list of potential replacements from Mike Gundy, and one's the guy at UTSA, one guy's at North Texas. Like those guys probably need to go, okay, I'm coming and I'm going to bring this guy with me, and he's got $10 million. Like, that's part of this equation now, too. It's about wins and losses. It's about your personality, but you guys still have to like almost show your bankroll.
I mean, what I found interesting in the statement that they made, or I don't know if it was AD or the president, whoever made the statement, was it basically became like also like a rallying cry for the donors and for the fans. He was like, there's just a reality of the investment that's needed in football in order to keep up with the Joneses, and we're going to need everybody to get involved. Like, this press conference to me was as much about Mike Gundy as much as it was about getting people to invest back into Oklahoma State. I was actually quite surprised that he actually was that explicit. But, I mean, these are the rules now. It's legal, so there's no hiding behind it. But they made it very clear that if they don't get an investment into the actual roster, that it's not going to change. It doesn't matter who the head coach is.
Both WNBA best-of-5 semifinals now knotted at 1. The Aces handled a Fever 90-68. Asia Wilson, 25 points, 9 rebounds, 5 steals. And the Mercury got an 89-83 win in OT in Minnesota. Phoenix was down 20 mid-third quarter, making this the third largest comeback in postseason history. Guys, back to you.
Folks, thanks so much. Can Oklahoma still make the college football playoff if John Mateer has to miss several weeks because he's getting hand surgery?
Boomer! Tennessee! Not today.
Maggie Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Tell me something good. Tell me that you love me.
We'll have to wait for John Mateer to have hand surgery today before we know if it's going to be something good or something bad. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray Andrew Perloff. Clearly the Heisman frontrunner having to undergo hand surgery for a broken bone in his throwing hand, Pearl. Not ideal for Oklahoma as they're really getting into the toughest part of their schedule. Not that they haven't had a tough schedule. They, had Michigan at home, so that was, they played Auburn. Obviously, this is where the injury happened. The fact that he stayed in and still played well shows the guy's obviously as tough as can be. Now they have Kent State is next. Then obviously Red River rivalry against Texas, at South Carolina, home for Ole Miss, then Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, LSU. This is not the time you want your Heisman frontrunner quarterback to be dealing with an injury in his throwing hand.
Well, it's early, but it doesn't seem like anybody's getting a break in the SEC this year. There's 10 ranked teams right now. So they play anybody, you're going to get a ranked team. Last year, Mike Watkins Jr. played against Texas, and the team had 220 yards of total offense. It was terrible.
Yeah,
that's Mateer's backup.
Yep.
And it doesn't look – I listen, we're obviously not hand guys. Like, we don't know. But it doesn't seem like likely he'll be there for Red River rivalry. So – I think this is real bad, like real bad for Oklahoma. Not for Mateer's draft status necessarily, which is high as well, but I think it's going to be really tough for Oklahoma to recover from this.
Sorry, when you said hand guys, it's like, some guys are like butt guys or boobs guys, whatever. We're not really hand guys.
I feel like we're kind of a foot show.
We are a foot show.
We're a foot show. We're good friends with a renowned foot doctor, Dr. Rock Positano, and of course your feet are quite famous. What's the website where you can see them?
I'm not giving them another
Where
pop.
is the Sasquatch.com?
It's Maggie's feet block out the sun.
We're definitely a foot show. We're not a hand show.
No.
There are some foot guys out there.
Is that an eclipse or Maggie just walking?
Who's to say?
No. Is that eclipse or did Maggie kick her feet up?
That's me relaxing.
Maggie doing a bicycle kick.
So that's that was funny. No, here's the thing about the Mateer injury. I just in some ways wish that the committee would not fault Oklahoma for anything bad that happens in these next 3 or 4 weeks. That's not how it works. Life's not fair. Injuries happen. I get it. But, this is a time where I wish the committee would give a little grace to the fact that you have a quarterback who's been super exciting. I don't know if he'd be the first quarterback off the board in terms of the draft. Who knows? No fear Mateer can be a little bit of a gambler, but he's fun to watch. He's great. Oklahoma looks like they should absolutely be a playoff team, and this is, just a setback. And I wish we had a mechanism in place to to kind of just hit pause on Oklahoma until Mateer gets back and then sort of figure out what to do with them rankings-wise.
Yeah, I mean, it's, what is it, September 24th? How do you know Oklahoma looks like a playoff team?
They beat Michigan at home.
And what is Michigan?
And they beat Auburn at home.
And what is Auburn? We have no idea. The season hasn't even started yet.
Michigan just went to Nebraska and won, Pearl. They might win out.
Dude, we could go to Nebraska and we could get 11 guys. What the heck? They just went to Nebraska. Is it 1996? So what?
I don't know. I thought I was impressed with that win. They didn't have their head coach. You're on the road with a rookie quarterback.
Patrick Mahomes looked good.
A freshman quarterback.
The season has not
Mahomes Jr.
started in any meaningful way.
That's not Pat Mahomes?
We have no idea what's happening. Like, honestly, they played one conference game. One. So to say that they are...
Well, Auburn was ranked.
Was ranked. They
held them to 17 points.
Yeah.
They held Michigan to 13 points. So clearly the defense is showing up.
Against Michigan, again, I would give it a month, and let's take those two takes and see where they stand. There's so much football to say Oklahoma looks like a playoff team. Yes, right now, but who is number 7 at this point last year? I'm just saying there's so much to determine. Like if they stink for the next 3 weeks, and they lose 2 games, Texas and South Carolina. Do you think they're going to go on a run and beat Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, LSU to run out the table? Like, are they that good? If they are, then yes, they're definitely getting the playoffs. But we don't have no idea how they're going to match up in all those games. There's a lot of football left.
There's a lot of football left, but so far, does anyone in the SEC look like they are gangbusters?
No, but
Texas is like drowning right now. And by the way, they catch a break. They're playing Oklahoma in 2 weeks, and Arch looked better against 3 weeks. Sam Houston.
Well, Texas did hold Ohio State with Jeremiah Smith to 14 points. So maybe there's something there. But there's going to be about 11 two-loss SEC teams. And what is going to make Oklahoma stand out above them? That's a good – I mean, you might be right.
Well,
maybe
that's what I'm
Mateer.
saying. I just don't know. To me, nobody's really distinguished themselves in the SEC
That's because the season
amazing.
hasn't started yet, right? They've all played – some have played too, but, we haven't started SEC play. So, really, to say Oklahoma looks like a playoff team seems rich to me.
888 – sorry?
It seems TBD.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Yes, there's a bye week in there.
Yeah, so there's no game this week. So if it's 4 weeks, he would have missed 3 games.
Right. But then he's coming back off of hand surgery.
Right.
Which is not ideal when it's your throwing hand and your quarterback. You're going to have defenses that are going to be trying to hurt him, obviously.
Oh, can a defense go for the hand?
Oh, yeah. Step on his hand when he's on the ground. There's little things they can do. Grab your hand on a pile. There's the things these guys do to get after a guy who's injured.
I'm rushing the quarterback. Let me just try to headbutt his follow-through.
Yeah.
Pearl, if you don't think that guy's attacked people,
the headbutt, I'm with you on all the ones.
15-yard penalty.
The headbutt, the follow-through, that one seems a little hard to figure out in real time.
Listen, it's all about the details.
Some dirty player will do it.
I think you're right. Or I don't even know if it's dirty. It's, I guess it is. But this is a bummer. Not just because I had put not an insignificant wager on John Mateer to win the Heisman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Sorry about that.
Sure, the mortgage is really on the line there.
Listen, we have a segment called Coming Clean. It's just been an abomination for me. I picked the 49ers to win the Super Bowl. Could that have come off the rails sooner?
Well, I mean,
Nick
there was a
Bosa's out for the
stat
year.
before the Bosa injury. Every time they've started out 3-0, they've made the Super Bowl or something. So that was looking great.
Yeah,
it looks.
I think that stat's going to prove to be fruitless this time around.
Well, they do have, they have Bryce Huff and the rookie Mikael Williams. I mean, they have other stars. It's better than the Cowboys losing Micah Parsons. You're right. That is not ideal. But before that, if Bosa was in there, wouldn't you feel pretty good?
Not really, because you already had Purdy hurt. And then even Mac Jones got dinged up.
And?
Kittle's out.
I don't know. That seems like the Niners Super Bowl formula if I've ever heard one in my life. Yes, all those things happened, and they got the Super Bowl and blew it there.
Can Oklahoma still make the college football playoff if John Mateer has to miss 3 games or more? 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Coming up, how different are things going to look for the New York Giants now that Jaxson Dart is QB1? That's next.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Well, best of luck to Jaxson Dart. Just has to come in and save the franchise. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Pearl, the rookie, gets the nod after the Giants started 0-3. Russell Wilson was really bad when the game was actually winnable. At least, like, the game was close against the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday night, and Russ was pretty bad. The crowd is booing. I think Brian Daboll and the staff know that this is their only hope. They are pulling the ripcord, and they are putting the rookie in to face the Chargers now, who are the 5th best defense in the NFL in terms of EPA per play. It's a big, big ask for the rookie. I would have started him just from the beginning of the season. You know, originally I thought it would be the Saints week 5. That's what I always thought. That's when you're going to see Jaxson Dart. But, you know, you're putting him in this really, really impossible place.
You know, I disagree a little bit. Russell Wilson did look bad, but don't you feel like he was put in an impossible situation?
Russ? Why?
Yeah, because I think you're going to see it too. Like, I think Jaxson Dart's getting put into a hard situation. I think this team stinks, like from
top to bottom.
Top to bottom. I think it's rotten at the core. So I think we all knew Russell only got this job because it was a very flawed situation. I don't think Russell wears all this personally. I think the Giants have been bad for 10 years. Like, well, all of a sudden it's on Russ.
Oh, no, you're right. I mean, the Giants have been a debacle of an organization. The funny thing about the Giants now, and again, Jaxson Dart's going to take over as the starter. They announced, it got leaked yesterday to reporters. They actually have talented guys. They have stars. They have, like, dudes who you would want on your team. You're telling me you don't want Malik Neighbors? You would.
Yeah, you said dudes.
Yeah, dudes, like Abdul
defense,
Carter.
yeah.
On
Sexy
defense.
Dexy. You want, Kayvon Thibodeau.
Right, but Jaxson Dart's not throwing to these guys.
No, I understand. I'm just saying, when you're saying that the team is terrible and everything is so bad, sometimes I don't understand it, because you actually do have talented dudes on this, Giants team. You just
can't put it together.
Absolutely nothing to show for it. Now, again,
I don't know. I mean, like, Tyrone Tracy was your number 1 running back coming in this year. Now I guess it's Scattaboo. I'm not sure that this is so talented. I mean, listen, you've seen what's the formula to stop the Giants? Put 3 guys on Malik Neighbors, and then they're like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I do not think that's a talented offensive roster. Defensively, I agree with you.
Okay, so you're asking Jaxson Dart now to step in, and again, this is the only hope for the Giants. So you got to do it. And clearly, I think he is ready. I just hate, like, the reasoning behind it, This is the part about it where, it's just feels unfair to the dude. And now there's never, like, a perfect spot to start him, although I do think that New Orleans would have been that place. And what's the difference between the Chargers, like, doing it now and doing it week 5? I think it had to be because how bad Russ looked in the fourth quarter against the Chiefs, and how much these guys, Daboll and Shane, feel like they could get fired at any moment.
Yeah.
And that's, again, why bad teams stay bad. And something happened to the New York Giants where all of a sudden their front office, ownership, everyone lost their way.
Yeah.
And they become one of the worst teams in the NFL.
Got that right, sister.
For a long, long time.
Well, it's like a decade now. It's a decade. And I get it.
Years, really.
What's that?
It's about 15 now.
About 15 years now.
And I understand, listen, transitioning out of a Hall of Fame quarterback, which I think Eli will get in at some point, it's very hard. Look at the Steelers. But somehow the Steelers still find a way to make the playoffs, even if we clown them about not winning a game. It doesn't have to be this bad for this long. Eli's done retired. He's been retired. And so, Jaxson Dart just has a lot on him. And I love the fact that he's going to get to play, Pearl. I hate the circumstances under which he's doing it, and I hate the fact that it's selfishly because the coach is probably feeling everyone breathing down his neck.
But what's the difference if he comes in? He's going to have to play good teams eventually.
I agree but
you think the
I thought,
first game should be the easy one?
I thought that would be a good thing to start him against the Saints. Yeah, it'd be on the road too, so I think that's actually a little bit better. Look at what happened. The Giants faithful, I don't know if they'd boo him. They might.
So the Chargers defense,
they might.
Chargers defense is good, but they haven't played any like good, solid, awesome offenses yet. So they had Kansas City and Denver and the Raiders, right? They're 3-0 in the AFC West famously, but those are 3 struggling offenses right now.
And the Giants would be the worst out of that group.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's not like you're playing the 85 Bears. I don't know that yes, the Chargers defense is good, but I don't know. Like you can't pick and choose here, Maggie. I understand your Saints game, but right after the Saints, eventually he's going to have to face the Eagles. Eventually he's going to have to face these good defenses. I don't know if you're going to find that perfect spot. But say he did face the Saints, and he's like, oh, okay, we got this figured out. Then boom, reality hits the next week.
Okay, but this is, and again though, this is why I hate the timing of it, specifically because I think it was a panic move by the head coach to do this to save his job. And when you feel like the hammer is hanging over you in week 4 of the NFL season, I think people start doing things for selfish reasons. Is this really the best spot to put in Jaxson Dart? Or was this either management or ownership or what have you saying, our fans are booing us at home. We cannot roll Russell Wilson out there one more day.
I mean, but then again, you said they should have started him before the season. Like, I think the coach is like, thinks Jaxson Dart gives him a better chance to win this game, which is important. You know, that's really what his job is to do. He can run a little bit, at least try something. This is my plan. Try something here.
Yeah, Brian.
It's not like you would, if you're the head coach of the Giants, you would start Jaxson Dart this week.
Yeah, but here's the.
I would.
Well, I know because I feel like I got the Grim Reapers like over my shoulder, and he should be because Brian Daboll, as the head coach of the New York Giants, is 18-35-1. They went 9-7-1 his first year, then 6-11, 3-14, and now they're 0-3 this year, and they are 31st in scoring since 2023, and he's the offensive guy.
So let me ask you a question, though. If he had a 70-year contract, would you not start Jaxson Dart this week? Everybody would start Jaxson Dart. Everybody who's watched that game against Kansas City would take Russell Wilson out and put in at least a mobile young quarterback.
So
everybody.
I also don't trust Brian Daboll because I didn't like the weird way he was using Jaxson Dart, even for 3 plays in the first 3 games. And maybe you just didn't want him to like only be, getting his literal first live action of a regular season game the day that he starts, but it's fine to get him in there. I just didn't like when he did it, how he did it, when he did it, all the who, what, when, where, why, hows. I hated all of that about what Daboll did in terms of using Dart for a few plays here and there in the first 3 games.
Why?
I don't love the game plan for him.
What was wrong with putting him in occasional plays?
Because you actually were putting him in at times when maybe games were still tight and still close. Yeah, he's a better quarterback. I think that could have kept him. And how did you show it? He ran for 3 yards. He handed the ball off and then had to leave the game.
So what's the downside? I don't understand why. Did this ruin him or something?
No, I think it goes to a larger point of I don't love the plan.
Be careful though.
It doesn't look like they know what they're doing.
Yeah, it just
they look incompetent.
It felt haphazard. Put it that way.
It's of all the things that are wrong with the Giants, that is to me not in the top 1,000. The 3 plays Jaxson Dart played, they're just a lost franchise. They should have. I'm sorry, I hate to fire people. They should have fired Joe Shane and Brian Daboll a little while ago. Now it's interesting because they do have some young talented players that you started off like. What do they show this year? And what if they're terrible? What if they kind of almost lose out and they are looking at a quarterback again? Will Jaxson Dart, if Jaxson Dart is terrible, I don't think he will be. We saw him in preseason.
Yeah.
He could definitely play. If he's terrible, could he be a Josh Rosen where they have the number 2 pick and John Matera is there or something? Would they go quarterback again? Is this a tryout for Jaxson Dart? I'm really curious about what happens there if they lose a ton of games.
Well, I mean, the losses can't be on him, right? You're walking into a buzzsaw here. Let's hear from Brian Daboll. So this was Monday. This is before they made the quarterback change or reportedly make the change. And Daboll said he would be comfortable starting Dart if he made the change.
Has he checked off all the boxes for you? Like, has he reached all those checkpoints that you would feel confident of making that decision if that's the decision you make to go with him?
Well, we put him in the game for the last 2 weeks, so we wouldn't put anybody in the game we don't feel confident with.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So this is the other part, too. It's like the moment they made Dart the backup and made Jameis Winston the 3rd string, you knew this was just a matter of time, Pearl.
Yep.
And, again, I understand being 0-3 and feeling like the pressure is mounting and building and the walls are closing in. It's just a lot to put on a rookie to ask him to come in and save everyone's behind.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Fair. I definitely would play Jaxson Dart. I wouldn't even hesitate. I get it. Coming off the Dallas game, obviously you weren't going to pull Russ after that game. He threw for 450 yards. Now is the time. I mean, this is just the right move. There's no doubt about it. I'm not quite as scared. Maybe I'm wrong about this. I'm not quite as scared of the Chargers as I think everyone else is because they are 3-0. They do look like a Super Bowl contender, but they won't have Khalil Mack, right? They won't have who's that?
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack. He's still out.
Like I was trying to find their sack numbers. Like they're not terrifying. They're very physical. They're very solid and good. But I don't think that they're gonna. I don't expect them to sack him like 20 times.
God, I hope not.
Yeah,
20 times.
That'd be terrible.
Oh my
I just
God.
feel like they will not. I feel like he'll have some chances to make some plays here. He won't hopefully be under constant pressure. Just avoid Derwin James at all costs.
Just competent play at quarterback.
Just conservative, competent play. I think you could do that and stay in the game against the Chargers. I don't think this is a ferocious team that is going to torture Jackson.
One thing Bogusch mentioned yesterday, though, is his worst nightmare is, not to speak for him, but that Jaxson Dart plays so well that it actually keeps Daboll and Shane still involved, still part of the team past this year. Is that in any way a bad thing? I didn't look at that as necessarily a bad thing. Because my thing is, if he's playing well, and this is the guys that are coaching him, then okay, you figure it out for another year. But that is I think a concern from some Giant fans that Dart actually could play so well that a coach and a general manager that they don't believe in is actually going to be
stick around.
Be sticking around a lot longer than they should.
I don't think so.
And it's making it worse that Daniel Jones is doing so well in Indianapolis. But let's see how long that lasts. They really should be 2-1, not 3-0.
Let's hypothetically say that Jaxson Dart does hit. What hits has Joe Shane had over his tenure as GM? Andrew Thomas and Jaxson Dart. That doesn't eliminate all the other the 20, 25 Abdul. But that was handed to him on a silver platter. He didn't really go out and make a move to go get Abdul Carter. They went best available in that situation. So I mean, the fact that he found Andrew Thomas and potentially Jaxson Dart, I don't think eliminates all the other stinky moves that he made, the 25, 30 moves that he's made as general manager, trying to get a big player in or something like that.
And listen, obviously, the Saquon stuff. And I know Saquon's not off to like an amazing start this year, and he's averaging like 3.5 yards a carry or something like that.
That dude's on the back of a milk carton right now.
But still, he wasn't last year.
They had one really big play against
Xavier
the Rams.
McKinney's been pretty good too. They let him walk.
They let McKinney walk too. He's been good for the
Joe
Packers.
Shane decision.
I just think it would be, as much as I understand the frustration with Daboll and Shane, I just do think that it is a thing to change the play caller for a rookie quarterback in his second year. Like, I think the thing that there's just nothing, we can just bring somebody else in and it'll be seamless. Like, we have seen that is a problem.
It could be a setback.
The more coordinators you change, the more likely that quarterback could struggle early in his career. So if there is success, I mean, I don't know if there's a way to maybe keep Kafka or keep someone on the staff that is still running the same offense, but I think that is something to consider.
Right, did Trevor take off when he got a new coordinator? I mean,
right, but that was a bad situation. He didn't play well. I'm saying if he plays well and then you get rid of the coordinator.
Okay.
If he plays well, they're staying. I'm sorry, they are. If Jaxson Dart plays well, they're staying. I fully believe that, because I don't think John Mara, who owns the Giants, I don't think he wants to be on this hamster wheel of firing and hiring and firing.
Says he doesn't.
No.
Right, and I actually believe him.
So the Giants are what, 0-3 now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, how many games? Because what if he plays well, but they're 4-13? I don't think he stays then.
Really?
Is
he competent?
They're going to keep Brian Daboll if he wins 4 games this year? That seems crazy.
Well, it depends. I mean, like, they have the hardest schedule in the NFL.
Yeah.
They're now starting a rookie in week 4. And if Dart looks pretty good and they're losing 1-score games and it ends up being a 4 or 5 win season, I do think they stick with him.
Now,
God, I would do a massive show bet against that if I could. Like, if they're under 5 wins, I think Daboll has no chance.
Are we drinking a gallon of milk now?
I
don't want to do that.
I feel like I've won like 12 or 13 or 14 straight show bets. Like, I've not lost one in forever.
On the flip side,
This is what I would win.
It's like saying you haven't had traffic yet.
4-13 is not going to save Brian Daboll's job.
On the flip side of the conversation, though, the Giants can't be keeping Russell Wilson on a $12 million contract, right?
So I was thinking about that. Is Russ too lit to be a backup? And by that, I mean, is he not the way that Cam Newton said it, which was really funny. Obviously, Russ never won an MVP. But I don't know if he could handle it, Russell Wilson.
He's kind of a journeyman now, though.
Do you think he wants to sit back there?
Third team in 3 years. Yeah, I think he only went to New York because he's like, he knew the situation, right? He was clearly the Kurt Warner to Eli Manning here.
But that was week 10 when they made that switch.
You say that, but he was acting as if he was like the guy, right? He was going to those Knicks games, wearing the Giants jacket.
He always does that.
You do that. You have to act like the guy. You have to pretend that you're going to be the man. And he gave it a shot. He's like, well, I'll give it a shot here. What other choice does he have?
Not throw it out of bounds on 4th and 2 when you're down.
What is Russ supposed to do?
I don't know. I just felt like he came over and kind of took over this team and took over as a leader, which if you're a guy who's going to be replaced in 3 weeks, it seemed like a little much to me.
So can I ask a question to our fans in Seattle? Because you're welcome to weigh in on the Giants aspect at 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. I know we got Giants fans on the show, obviously, and then in the audience. But for Seattle, because Pearl, you just mentioned it, Russ become a journeyman. Is he still Seattle's guy? Like, we talk about his Hall of Fame candidacy and, whether or not these last couple teams have hurt his Hall of Fame candidacy. 2 bad years in Denver, mediocre year, I guess, in Pittsburgh, and then now he's out after 3 games with the Giants. It's not an awesome way to end your career, but he does have all those Pro Bowls. He has won a Super Bowl, should have had 2, although the defense gets a lot of credit for those.
Star wife as well.
I mean, the truth is a lot of big-time Hall of Fame quarterbacks have had terrible final couple of years. Aaron Rodgers seems to be in the midst of that right now.
But he's got 4 MVPs in the back pocket.
Yeah, I mean, he'll but I'm just saying, like, I think people know how to ignore the end of a career.
I guess does Seattle, are you guys still claiming Russ? Like, that's our guy.
Well, I feel like they always, there are a lot of people who like the defense more than Russ anyway. It's a little different.
And like Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, I mean, like, because the rest of the team hated Russ. I feel like, I don't know, because I'm not in Seattle. I feel like, was he their guy in 2017? Yes and no.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
I mean, it's a little different, right? It's not like Favre in Green Bay.
Oh, yeah. Well, and when the report came out that that Russ wanted either the GM or the coach fired, it was like, you're just grasping now.
Well, I kind of understood what he was talking about. The team was getting pretty messy under Carroll and Schneider. What was that offense the last couple of years when Russ was? The problem with Russ is he can't move anymore.
But he really miscalculated his power there, because what ended up happening? Russ wanted either the GM or the coach out, and the GM said, I'm going to stay. How about the coach and the quarterback?
But no, Russ wanted to leave at the end, though. Remember, his agent gave, I want to go to these 4 teams.
Yeah.
I don't know. I honestly, he's a quarterback who needs to run to be effective, and he's so slow now. He really is.
But that's another part. You want it out at the end. You wanted people fired. You want it out. Like, when we're talking about it from the Seattle point of view, because you're thinking about Russell Wilson's legacy and the Hall of Fame and all that, does Seattle still claim him? Like, that's our dude.
I think when time moves on, he goes back there, he waves the 12 flag, whatever they do at that stadium, and they'll cheer him again. I think whatever bad vibes or bad feelings they had at the time, I think that's gone. Pete Carroll's not there anymore. Schneider's there still, but all that stuff and Richard Sherman and everything, that stuff is so far removed, I feel like, from where we are today with Russell Wilson. And I think in some ways he's almost kind of become a sympathetic figure. I think it's kind of sad to see him have to take a 1-year deal with the Giants and then get benched in 3 games and have what happened to him in Denver and see him at the end of the year in Pittsburgh lose 5 games in a row.
And when he eventually gets traded to the Cincinnati Bengals this season.
Well, that's the other
round
part.
pick and a bag of balls.
Does he end up going to another team, because he might ask for his outright release?
Yeah, I just don't know who's sitting around, if you're in Seattle, wishing on Russell Wilson's downfall at this point. It's happened already. At this point, you should move on.
I don't see him as a sympathetic figure, though, Russ.
This is kind of sad. He was a legitimate great player, and I think we kind of lose sight of that. I know that defense was great, and that they deserve a lot of credit.
Yeah.
But this guy was a star. He was a leader. Most teams would have killed to have a quarterback like Russell Wilson. So I think as bad as it was when it ended, to see it end like this, where he's on a nothing team that's going to get blown out for the rest of the season, he's on the bench. How can you root for that?
I'm not rooting for it. I just don't feel bad for him. I think it's a little bit different. He went to Denver, wanted the office. He wanted things his way. I know obviously they were planning for Aaron Rodgers clearly, and then they pivoted to Russ. traded a lot, paid him a ton of money, huge money. You know, the fact that it could happen with him and Sean Payton, and then he goes to Pittsburgh, and they basically handed him the starting job until he got hurt. He didn't even have to fight for it.
I think that nobody's going to care about Russ wanting Pete Carroll out. I think the big problem is that Super Bowl against the Patriots. Everyone still thinks the Seahawks were trying to prop up Russ and they threw the ball. I think that will ultimately be the legacy definer. I'm curious. I'd like to hear from Seattle. None of that other stuff matters. That was when the entire program just shifted on that one play, and I don't think anyone's ever going to get over that.
And it's so funny because it wasn't not one play before when he completed that amazing throw down the sidelines.
It was a catch.
It was
I don't know
they
if
were
that
going to
was
win.
Yeah, no. I mean, that whole thing.
That play would have lived for a long time if they had that play, which set up what should have been a Marshawn Lynch rushing touchdown.
I honestly think that play cursed the entire franchise, and it's kind of cursed his legacy to some extent. I don't know about at the end. I think Hall of Fame voters ignore the last couple of years, and they should, because that's if why retire if you can still hang on? Everyone's journey. Favre in his last year was so bad. I don't know if anybody remembers that. That last year in Minnesota was a joke. So it doesn't count. Russ will be fine. He's making the Hall of Fame.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. If you want to weigh in on the Giants side, are they setting up Jaxson Dart to fail? Starting them right now, where they are, everyone trying to save their own hide. And then also for Russ, is this someone who's Seattle? Are you guys claiming him? We're on in Seattle right now, right? Okay, coming up, we had a big firing yesterday in college football. Who will be the next coach to have 20-plus years at their school, besides Kirk Ferentz, who we know has more? Where are all the Mike Gundys going? It's Maggie Perloff.
Hey, Seattle.
You're in a 5-minute.
Maddie and EJ, bleary eyed and rough. Next took a shot like in that 8 morning cough. Philly cheesesteaks haunt their dreams like a greasy ghost. Lee Belotti's got something to say. Infinity's mice. He's feeling the dismay. No NBA on NBC. What a shame. Just JJ Redick's wine ain't the same. Peter Bellotti is getting upset. Maggie Perloff, can you hear his plea? Bring back the NBA on NBC. Set his spirit free. He misses Ma. Co-stars and the crew, those were the days. Pete cries out boo, boo. Bring it back, oh can't you see? Bring back the NBA on NBC. Let it be. Pete's mad, he's feeling sad. Bring it back, oh make it right. Lee Belotti's Manny and EJ, they're diehard Knicks fans. Living in the Big Apple, they're part of the grand plan. But they just witnessed the crushing defeat. 76ers taking the victory, man. That's hard to beat. Sitting in the studio, talking about the game. Maggie and Perloff, it ain't all the same. Perloff's a Philly fan. It's hard to stand when your team's on top and your heart's in your hand. Man, Manny and EJ, they lost and confused. Knicks played hard, but it wasn't what they used to. Every missed shot, every turn, oh, they saw leaving them shocked. They can't believe what they're in for. Manny and EJ, they're diehard Knicks fans, living in the Big Apple. Peter Bellotti, he made a prediction, said that he gonna win. Celtics got no conviction, but now he's hiding, running away, won't own up to his words, can't face the dismay. He thought Miami would rise like the sun in the sky, but now he's got excuses, got no alibi. He thought the Heat had it, it was a sure bet, but they couldn't handle Boston, not just yet. Peter Bellotti, where you at now? You made a bold choice, but where's your wow? Can't stand the heat in the kitchen, your predictions cold. You're playing hide and seek, leaving us in the fold. You're playing hide and seek, leaving us in the fold. Bogle sweeps, he's got the road trip blues, left behind, feeling like he's bound to lose. Perloff's off to San Antonio, can't believe his eyes, but Bogle's stuck at home, his heartache amplifies. Betting against swim beyond
15 seconds.
Perloff took the fall, but it's Bogle's.
Break ends in 5 seconds.
10 feet tall, a loser in his own right, can't catch a break. Road trip dream shattered, for goodness sake.
Oh, yeah. 24th day of September now. We missed it by 3 days.
Poor Aaron Glenn. Have you guys seen that on the internet?
Oh, it's a meme of him doing that dance to the song.
He looks like he's part of the marching band or something.
It's amazing.
It is amazing
He
how
hit that thing.
how perfectly it goes to this song also. The internet is terrible. It's a horrible place most of the time, except for when someone puts Aaron Glenn peacocking down the sideline to Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I love that. EJ, by the way, I quoted your tweet. You were out Monday.
Oh, yeah.
That when you arrived at the wedding, how are the Jets in this game? I totally agree. That was the wildest game I've ever not watched in my life. Just following the score, I'm like, well, I could turn this off and never ever come back to it. And then the Jets take the lead and lose the game. But let's be honest. I mean, the Jets get a reprieve because the Giants are such a mess right now.
Sure.
Thanks, Manny.
Let's go.
I think it's the other way. I think the Giants, the Giants get a reprieve because the Jets are so
I don't
bad.
even hear people in New York have given up so hard on the Jets. I feel like the Giants are now the focus.
Interesting.
I
Well,
really believe that.
Giants get a new quarterback this week, so that makes them fun for a week or so. Let's go to Brandon, though, who's in Seattle. We were talking about Russell Wilson, who's getting benched for Jaxson Dart, who's going to start as QB1 for the Giants. We're asking, what's his status right now in Seattle? Because now Russ is kind of a journeyman. Brandon, what's going on?
Hey, what's happening, guys? Great show as usual. Maggie, you're a really great host. I mean, all you guys are great, of course, but you're very.
Thank you, Brandon.
funny
Checks in the mail, pal.
Oh, mailbox money, cool. No, as far as Russ goes, I mean, I personally, have a lot of love for the guy, and I think he, it could still be a great quarterback. I think statistically, he looks, pretty decent in not a very winning kind of situation in Denver. I'm not sure their coach even liked him, which is a shame because I know Russ kind of looked up to, Drew Brees and Sean Payton. So, but has put up big numbers, including last week. It's what have you done for me lately? And I think everybody, is salivating to get this rookie in there, which, you can understand. But to Russ's defense, I just don't think, he's not in a positive, we want Russ to do well situation. And if he was, probably see something different.
Brandon, thank you for the phone call, but doesn't that also kind of say where Russ is right now, right? Which is he's not having the pick of the best situations. It's getting a little bit worse every time. Like Denver, we didn't know Nathaniel Hackett was going to be that much of a disaster. Maybe we should have. But you got traded for a boatload. They paid you a ton. So from that situation, which you think could be good, maybe this is Peyton Manning 2.0, goes to Denver, resurrects the career, wins the Super Bowl. Who knows? Not so good. Go to Pittsburgh. A little worse. Giants, one of the worst teams of the last decade. It's going backwards for Russ.
Can I say something as a fan of football? If Bengals traded for Russ, I'd be so disappointed. Why don't the Bengals take Jameis Winston? We need to see Jameis Winston playing in Cincinnati. Wouldn't that be amazing? Him throwing to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins?
Giants are not giving up the vibes, guy.
Oh,
you need Jameis for the locker room?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It'd be so much. He'd be such a better fit in Cincinnati than Russ.
Russ could get the ball to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
But those guys also like those short crossers, and then they like to take off. I don't know. I feel like everything Jameis throws will be caught.
Well, they had an opportunity.
By one team or the other.
By one team or the other. Ball never hits the ground.
But the Bengals had the opportunity to get Jameis Winston.
I know.
All the other 31 teams had an opportunity to get Jameis Winston this summer.
Well, right. But after the Burrow injury, I'm saying there was some rumors that they would go after Jameis. They can't go after Russ. That'd be terrible, right?
Well, it's funny that you need Jameis to be the guy who's going to sit next to Jaxson Dart and be like, you still got this, champ.
I mean, that's Manny saying that. I hope that's not the case.
We need
Jameis. Do you think that really is it? I think we need Jameis playing somewhere.
Because I have the eye of a tiger.
Let's get to Bogish. It's got the latest headlines. Will things look different for the Giants with Jaxson Dart? Are they setting him up to fail? 888-710-4ISN. Also got a poll question up there for you. Would beating the Packers make you feel better about the Cowboys season and the Micah Parsons trade? So you can go ahead, go vote. You can call us. What's up, folks?
It's a duck-billed anteater with a beaver tail.
Lost in the shuffle of, by the way, this is all sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting small businesses with affordable coverage options. Get a quote today at progressivecommercial.com.
What you eating?
Lost in the shuffle of Jaxson Dart and Mike Gundy and John Mateer is the retirement of a sports icon yesterday. Sister Jean, 106 years young, is stepping down as Loyola Chicago's campus minister and men's basketball's team chaplain. She had not been on campus when the school year began, citing some health issues, and now the school saying yesterday she is just physically unable to do this role on campus any longer. Now, you'd assume that this sweet basketball-loving nun would be universally admired and respected, but not on CBS Sports Radio / Odyssey / Infinity Sports Network. This is from the Wayback Machine. I'm not sure what we were called when this happened. It's our good friend Sean Morash hosting one Sunday morning during March Madness with our other friend Peter Schwartz on updates.
When the dust settles, she became a villain last night by leaving that game early. Twitter took to it. I have never seen a 98-year-old woman become a villain in my life. A sweetheart, too. And here she was getting wheeled out of there, waving to the crowd. Wheeled out. We got 3 minutes, Sister G. Can you sit in your seat a little longer? Come on.
I had enough of her.
So Schwartz had enough of her. Is Sister Jean a fraud for leaving early?
Absolutely.
Heathens.
Not surprising with those two.
I mean, you got to square your soul with a bigger power than whoever keeps changing our name.
Is it Coke? Looks like Koch to me.
That was 8 years ago. Yeah. She's a 106 now, and she was 98 then.
I guess, yeah, that makes sense. And the backstory was Loyola Chicago in March Madness, and she was wheeled away from the court
when they lost, right?
Before the game ended, because usually she waits in the tunnel for the team to come off to give them high fives. So they were even factually wrong about her leaving early. She was just being taken to where she always is after games. But because they were playing in a huge gym, it was a longer trip to get to the tunnel where she needed to be to say good game. to the Ramblers.
Imagine calling a nun a fraud.
A fraud.
I mean,
imagine being Peter Schwartz and calling anybody else a fraud.
That being said, I mean, sometimes you got to beat traffic. I totally, she did want to leave.
Especially in a wheelchair. But
like
I love there's like a physically unable to perform. There's a pup list now for an 106-year-old nun.
The cream will rise to the crop.
Sorry, Pearl, you were saying.
Yeah, no, the worst is when, I'm just thinking of leaving early games. Like, the worst is when you think your team's getting blown out, and then all of a sudden they have just stay enough in the game. Kind of like that Jets-Bucks game. I know that was in Tampa Bay. But you got to, like, Sister Jean is probably like the rest of us. I think I don't buy your excuse. I think she just wanted out of there. I'm with those guys. What a fraud.
I said villain.
I was at that.
Villain. That's impossible.
I was at that Final Four,
never
by the way.
heard of this family until I just read the story.
Remember that Final Four? I mean, she was, I don't know if she was like the top 10 most famous people in America for about a week.
Definitely.
What was the name of that big guy that had a mustache on that Loyola Chicago team too?
The balding guy?
Yeah.
Cam Krutwig?
Oh, yes.
Krutwig, yeah.
Oh, great call. I can't believe you could remember that.
Although, was he definitely on that team?
Who knows, man?
Yes, I think.
He was like a Kevin Pittsnogle type, right?
Yeah, that's another good poll.
Yeah. Sister Jean.
Let's jump to
She
baseball.
deserves a day.
She's alive.
To learn more, visit realizethedream.org.
What a day. Martin Luther King Jr. deserves to have a day named after him.
Yeah, sure does.
We should just start dubbing in all the different names over MLK just to make this last forever.
But who's the guy? Isaiah Rogers. What a day. He said what a day. So what a day is a Tony Romo thing.
What a day.
Imagine Isaiah Rogers gets the same what a day as MLK.
What a day.
Hey, we were wasn't here yesterday. Why? Maybe I didn't bring up. Why were Nance and Romo on the Vikings and Bengals backup quarterback job? I got to tell you, the broadcast assignments are bananas this year.
Hello, friends.
Why on
maybe
earth were they at that
Watt
game?
and Ian Eagle are coming for their lunch.
I think, was that CBS's best game?
Was it really? Like, there had to be something better than Jake Browning versus Carson Wentz.
Because Eagles-Rams, right, was the late
That
game
was
on
Fox.
Fox.
No, early. That was
Early
1 o'clock.
Fox.
Oh, that's right. So
Yeah,
what was the
1 o'clock.
4:30 game late? What was the late game?
It was Bears and
So why did they do
Cowboys.
the
Right.
Eagles-Rams?
Because that game was on
CBS.
Fox.
Oh,
It's on
CBS.
Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels like I don't get you. We keep talking about this. Why are these great games at 1 o'clock randomly?
Yeah. I mean, there's only certain places. There's only a handful of places to put games though on Sunday, and the 4:25 game is always going to be a
wait a minute.
standalone thing.
Do we have a?
Yes, I know exactly what you're about to say.
We've
yes.
got a Europe game this week.
And the
we
next
do.
week after that too.
Yeah,
We've got-
Vikings got 2 in a row.
We've got football for like 14 hours on Sunday.
You don't like these?
No,
I don't
hate
like them.
this.
I don't like them.
I don't like them. Not
I feel
even
like I need a
because
cigarette afterwards. It's so much football.
my eyes are just bleeding. It's not that. It's just there's a couple reasons. I think the games are wonky and weird over there. I don't love when my team's playing in it. Now,
Sure.
I don't have that this year. But I also can't bet on these games. I've made a determination. I don't bet on international games because I never know what's going to happen anyway. I'm
Right.
not good at this. I'm even worse when the games are overseas.
Well, the good news is I have a number for you to call if you legitimately have a problem. If you're like crestfallen that you can't bet
Funsies.
on the Dublin game.
Hey, sounded a little
I
judgy.
think I know that number too.
Listen, for me, Sunday doesn't start before 10 a.m. So that's my reason.
That's a man without kids.
Revel
in it, man.
Facts.
Revel in
no
it.
denying that.
Yeah.
Wait, who are the Vikings playing, by the way? Because these games also.
Steelers.
Yeah,
Aaron
that's
Rodgers.
going to be a garbage fest.
Oh,
my
Aaron
God.
Rodgers against Carson Wentz / maybe J.J. McCarthy.
That game is like, are you guys ready for a 22 to be in the final score? Because that is definitely happening.
Well,
like
what
a
happens if
Scorigami,
Isaiah
baby.
Rodgers says, what a day? You know, it's possible.
Yeah.
What a day.
I have no idea, but that game is going to be ugly.
They're all ugly
We're
over
sleeping
there.
in
Yeah.
on Sunday, right?
Well, that went out the window approximately 6 years ago. but sure.
Blaming it on Lucas.
Yeah.
I mean,
He
it's just
deserves it.
reality. It's not
The day Lucas was born.
What a day.
What a day. Yeah. Actually, born on Bobby Bonilla Day.
Ah,
So, yeah, what a
lovely.
day. If Tony Romo knows what that is,
Bobby Bonilla.
What a day.
might get what a day.
Roger Wilbons didn't throw him in the deal.
What a day.
My kid was born the day that Kevin Durant signed with the Nets.
What a day.
Back to you, Bugs.
Just bad news for New York all around.
Mm-hmm.
What a day.
Did you do an emergency call-in from the...
I did. I called from the operating room.
Wasn't that July 4th?
Just July 1st.
Oh, geez.
July 4th was you're thinking about the Warriors.
Yeah, that was Durant going to the
Hamptons.
Warriors.
Yeah,
Got it.
Situation.
No, I called in from the maternity ward. And I said the line was, well, I was on New York radio at the time, so I said the line was the entire league's having an orgy and the Knicks are scrolling on their phones in the corner.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did say that.
Epidural still
As
flowing.
a soon-to-be mom. I hadn't gotten the drugs
Oh,
yet.
free drugs.
They don't
wait,
allow
blinded by
phones
pain.
that late into the process.
You were sober when you said that?
I don't even understand that analogy.
Because
Like, didn't
everyone
one
was
team
doing
sign KD?
something. No, it was like everyone. There was it was crazy things happening in that first day of free agency.
But not the Knicks.
Everyone was making deals.
Everybody was mingling at the bar except for Manny in the corner watching Knicks highlights on his phone.
Everyone was closing deals that day except for the Knicks. Is what I was getting at.
Actually, that take didn't age well.
Yeah, it turns out they all got herpes.
Fair.
What's that?
Yeah, I was like in the corner, and they're like, "All right, Miss Gray, it's like time to go now." I was like, "All right, I gotta go." Bye.
One more thing on Kevin Durant.
As they're wheeling me in.
Over under 59 wins for the Nets this year.
It's all right. I was back in 6 weeks anyway. They didn't miss me.
Did people call about the Nets?
Nope.
Yeah, I was about to say. Kevin Durant might have just signed with Oklahoma City again. Like,
that was Maggie's commitment to the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, you called in for the
get
Nets?
this Nets take.
No.
But I love that you called in to talk about the Knicks not signing him.
Yeah,
That sounds.
That was it.
Nobody
That sounds
was
on
the story.
brand.
Nobody calls in for the Knicks because all for the Nets because all the Nets fans are employees here.
Yeah. They already have the
Yeah, we
number.
host the shows.
Yeah.
Lucky universe. Hang Bogues, will you? We didn't get to anything.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
He did a sponsor.
Yeah.
You did the sponsor?
He did do a sponsor.
He did stuff.
Yeah, Norma
Yeah.
Jean was
He
his
trashed
story.
Sister Jean.
Sister
You
Jean.
trash
Oh,
Sister
yeah.
Jean, buddy.
The fact is,
not
she's
that hard.
106.
She's a compiler.
Yeah.
I'll come back. Yo. We're going to hell.
Oh my gosh, I don't want to be associated with this show, and my name's on it. All right, coming up, are the experts right for being so down on this one NFL team? Do that next.
I'm going to hell.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Get to two very prominent voices down on the Super Bowl champion Eagles. But first, John is in Boise, big Packer fan. John, before you get to your point, if the Cowboys win this weekend and beat your Packers, ... fill in the blank. How will that go over?
We just lose another game. I mean, our offense looked great the first two games, but I think we're being way too conservative after, the second quarter. Like, why take your foot off the gas?
They thought they had it won. They never even thought there's any chance of Cleveland come back. You could tell.
Yeah, that's how I was thinking too. So
the score was 10-0. It's not like they were ahead 30-13.
They're up 10-0 with 5 minutes left in the game. Like, it didn't even dawn on Matt LaFleur that they were going to lose.
No, but John's saying after the second quarter,
they turtled up for sure. They got really conservative. They had 31 carries and 25 passes on the game. That's never a good thing.
John, what else did you want to say?
Well, you guys were talking about Burrow earlier, and, people say he's injury prone and this and that, but he's been sacked a little over 30 times more than Andrew Luck was in 17 less games, So
wow.
If the Bengals invest all this money into him, this and that, why not shore up your offensive line? Take care of him.
Yeah, it's a question we've been asking for a long time, John. Thank you for that stat. Didn't know that one. It's a good one to keep in the back pocket.
Well, it's funny.
We were talking about would Russell Wilson, who just got benched for Jaxson Dart, would he be an option in Cincinnati is how we got to Joe Burrow, if you're just joining us.
Yeah, I mean, I heard a lot of that. Warren Sharp, who's brilliant, he's like an analytics guy, said, this is a result of them not building up the line. But you look at their line, they have paid Orlando Brown Jr. as their left tackle. They paid him a lot of money, actually. They drafted Amarius Mims at right tackle at 18 overall. They've tried on the line. Then they have a bunch of veteran free agent types like Dalton Reisner and Ted Karras. I don't know. I feel like there's more going on here. I don't think what's wrong with that line on paper?
I think the other part you would say, too, is you've got these two amazing receivers. Get the ball to them. And to your point about Russ and why you thought, Pearl, he would not be a fit for the Bengals is because they, as much as they love the deep ball to chase, they also love these crossing routes and like using the middle of the field, and that's not where Russ is excelling right now.
Exactly, exactly.
But Burrow can, and that's part of helping your offensive line. I hate to always bring it back to Tom Brady, but who were the Hall of Famers that he had on his line? You get the ball out quickly.
I chalk it up to these slow starts. Week 1, Burrow did not look like Burrow, but he never does. I don't know what is even when starting the special, starting these guys in the preseason, they did start out 2-0, but the offense just looked anemic. Remember that Browns game? I think, honestly, Burrow was worse than Flacco.
888-710-4ISN. Ouch. Okay, let's hear from, I've got a couple things here on Perloff's defending champion Philadelphia Eagles getting booed by their home crowd.
That's nothing new. Yeah.
Turns out the criticism goes even beyond the link. Here's Drew Brees. Now on First Take, signed a deal with ESPN, said he hates watching the Philadelphia Eagles play offense.
Same.
I respect Philly. They are winning games. They're finding a way to win games. I can't stand to watch that offense. It's the most boring offense.
Okay. Wow. I disagree respectfully with Drew Brees. I mean,
really?
that was a really great offense that he was playing in. But yeah, the tush push is annoying. Don't get me wrong. But beyond that, when Jalen Hurts is actually getting the ball to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, what's boring about that? They have Saquon Barkley literally jumped over a guy backwards last year. What is boring about that? I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with the former MVP Drew Brees.
Well, Drew Brees could definitely fit into the Perloff Philadelphia Eagles text chain. Everyone came in and said, Kevin Patullo better open up that offense or we are going to ride that guy out of town. That's a new offensive coordinator. And what if two things happen? Either he realized the game situation and opened up the offense, or there's a lot of people who think somebody else was pushing the levers on the second half of that game.
Who?
Well, anybody. It didn't feel like whatever this guy had shown. I feel like something he was forced to cut the crap with this conservative offense. It was ridiculous.
Maybe
they were just
Sirianni got
not
involved. He
passing
is the head coach after all.
I mean, somebody made a call to say, they're still the bottom 5 overall offense in the league. They're definitely conservative. Drew is not lying. And it just looks ugly. It reminds me, but then again, the Patriots looked ugly forever. I didn't enjoy watching the Patriots offense. It was the opposite of Drew Brees and the Saints, which is a quick strike. The Eagles are a ball control, kind of ugly offense. I actually agree with Brees. It's funny. You think you find them exciting to watch on offense? Even the Super Bowl, what did they do on offense? Nothing.
I mean, they kicked the Chiefs' butt.
On
That's
defense.
What they did. I guess
it was Zach Bond and Cooper DeJean interceptions that were the key to the game.
Listen, when Saquon Barkley is rolling, that is fun to watch. He's the closest thing we've had to Barry Sanders in the last 20 years. And again, when they can get the vertical passing game going, and when Jalen Hurts is running, then it's just as good as any other offense. It's just the tush push. I think that's what he's talking about.
No.
The tush push sucks. Wait, can I tell you one other thing?
They don't pass the ball at all. You're
it's a
aware
problem.
Of that.
I get that.
No, I don't think it's just a tush push. Last year they had games where they didn't get to 150 passing yards. Many games.
So here's another. This is an executive from another NFC team. Didn't put their name on it, so take it with a grain of salt. This is from The Athletic. Quote, this is after they beat the Rams and came back to beat the Rams. I'm more afraid of the Rams than I am of Philly. I think Philly's suffering from a Super Bowl hangover, and I think there are ways to beat Jalen Hurts. They've got to be in on it and run the ball perfectly. Do you think Philly is suffering from a Super Bowl hangover at 3-0?
Well, how do you define a Super Bowl hangover? That means emotionally and mentally. I think the loss of personnel and loss of coaching staff hurt tremendously.
But it's so early in the season, you're still winning games. Why don't you think you can overcome it?
Because they haven't found, we'll see what happens with GJ getting back on the market, but they have a really bad secondary. And, they lost a lot of players. They lost their best pass rusher. They lost Milton Williams. They lost Josh Sweat. I don't know.
But they draft well. Look at Jordan Davis won the game for you. When you have Jalen Carter in there, there's nobody scarier.
Yeah, they are not the team they were last year. And Saquon looks a lot slower.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Maybe Drew Brees is going to be good on TV. That'd be fun. Coming up next, it's Wednesday, which means the great debate, and we've got a Cowboys question for you. MVP.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
If somehow the Dallas Cowboys beat the Green Bay Packers this week, it doesn't mean that Jerry Jones won the Micah Parsons trade. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray Andrew Perloff. Can we just stop that right now?
You know who's going to disagree with you? Jerry Jones. Are you kidding me?
Jerry knows where I am every morning.
Jerry will have a parade if they win this game.
That's what just underscores, Pearl, how messed up this Cowboys situation. And by messed up, I mean that championships are no longer even on the horizon. You can't even be delusional and fake yourself into it. The only thing that Jerry's into anymore is clicks and attention. He's admitted it 100 times. And the fact that his Super Bowl is week 4 is really lame. Really lame.
That's not by design. That's by necessity, Maggie. Like, what are you supposed to do?
Put out a winning product.
Is he going to come out? He's like, first of all, there are, by definition, 16 teams in the league that are not going to put out a winning product. I mean, they're just on a bit of a downtick. They had 3 years of 12-5, and now they're having a ton of injuries. Like, you can't realistically talk about Super Bowl or bust in Dallas.
I just hate that we've moved the goalposts on this so much. And the fact that Jerry had the Netflix documentary that came out to remind everybody of the glory days, and the fact that you still don't think this stuff is lame coming from him, like, is crazy to me. He wants you to remember the 90s and how innovative he was, and he and Jimmy and all that positive stuff. And now the bar is, well, maybe we'll be competitive. And if we beat the Packers in week 4, let's throw a parade. That is just awful if you are a Cowboy fan. And it's empty calories. Because even if you beat the Packers, Pearl, and they're 7-point underdogs, that'd be tough, but they are at home. And obviously, they're all getting up for this game, I would imagine. But even if you do beat the Packers, it doesn't mean that your defense is fixed. It doesn't mean that you've done anything that is going to show a shred of consistency. It shows you won a game just like Cleveland won a game last week, and no one thinks they're now going to the playoffs. They're still the Browns.
Well, if Cleveland wins this week, they're going to be much. They're a dangerous team if they win. They should be 2-1, by the way. But that's not the point here. If Dallas wins this game without CeeDee Lamb, assuming CeeDee's not playing, then if they can beat the Packers without CeeDee Lamb, then they can beat a lot of teams. Like, we're back in the 12-5 territory, possibly.
Their defense is nowhere close to being good enough to make them 12-5.
How are they going to beat the Packers?
Because the Packers scored 10 points against Cleveland Browns, and sometimes
Cleveland has the best defense in the league.
I know, but my point is sometimes the Packers' offense doesn't look like how we want it to look. You know, there are times when we've been left kind of scratching our head a little bit about this Packers offense. And again, we'd have to imagine a miracle here, because I think exactly what the Packers do well is exactly what the Cowboys do terribly. You know, the Cowboys are a little bit better at stopping the run, so I guess throw Jerry a massive party for that. But not by much. Like, they were, I think, giving up like 150 yards on the ground. Now they're giving up like 120. So I guess
because they gave up so many in the air.
And they allowed Russell Wilson to score a pass for 450 yards. I mean, he just got benched for Jaxson Dart.
If they beat Green Bay, then they've clearly figured some things out. I mean, it's just there's no way they can win this game unless they win like 50-47 or something. Then I think it'd be an incredible accomplishment to win this game against one of the hottest teams in the league before last week. So, yeah, I think it would be a massive game changer for them, because then the schedule lightens up and a lot of they could really get rolling. It's possible.
They go to the Jets, then to Carolina. That's Dallas after this. Yeah. I just think it would be almost like a spike, like a sugar spike, and then you come right down off of it. You know, I don't think that this would mean that the Cowboys have turned a corner. I don't think it means that now they are, set up for sustained success. And
well, do you think? Okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If Dallas beats Green Bay and goes to 2-2 with a light schedule coming up, do you think they'll make the playoffs?
No, because the schedule might be light now, but then it gets harder at the end. So you are going to be facing some tough teams.
But they're just going to get healthier. Hopefully for them, CD will come back. Diggs will get healthier. Deron Bland will come back. I feel like there are reasons you could squint at the Cowboys and see hope for improvement. A lot of these issues are health issues too. Cooper Beebe will come back. Tyler Booker will come back. I mean, if they can steal some wins while everybody's hurt, then they could be better in the second half. That's all I'm saying.
We are asking you today, would you feel better about the Dallas Cowboys situation if they beat the Packers on Sunday? And 61% are saying no, they're with me. It's just, it wouldn't mean what we think it means, in my opinion. And I think the fact that Jerry Jones is looking at this like it's the Super Bowl is really lame. It's a week 4 game. Now I get like the interpersonal, but the Packers actually have real goals. And the Cowboys' goal is to like win this game to what? Like rub it in the nose of a player who they didn't want to pay anyway. And they've told you Jerry's now tried to reverse Jedi mind trick this thing and say they were always dangling Micah Parsons out there and you dopey media people fell for my grand scheme.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like these Cowboys are just desperate to have something positive happen. I mean, you have to admit, like this CeeDee Lamb injury is a major concern. He is the entire offense. I know George Pickens is there, but he hasn't really been that impactful. Like without CD, who are the Cowboys?
Well, the run game's maybe been a little bit better than we expected, and Dak plays well. And here's another. Well, I have another question for you, but it's about Dak Prescott and whether or not he gets questioned enough for taking every penny.
Here we go.
And I don't want to begrudge a guy who's always getting paid, but it was 3 bites at the apple for Dak Prescott. And nobody talks about how he didn't want to take any less.
But that's because
to
he bet
fit
on
Micah
himself.
Parsons into, like this time around, it didn't have to be the highest paid quarterback in the league by average.
No, but I think like the reason no one does that with Dak Prescott is because he bet on himself. Like they didn't offer to pay him. Like what was he supposed to do?
No, the first time around, definitely. They franchise tagged him twice.
Even the second time
it.
around, they waited too long. Like they were kind of hesitant. Here's the thing, though. Like you say that, he gets $60 million a year, right? The highest in the league. Jalen Hurts gets 51. It's basically, it's a little different, but the Eagles sign everybody. Everybody under the sun. There's plenty of room. And the Cowboys had enough room to sign Micah at 41. So I don't know that. I'm not sure that's the reality of the Cowboys, that like Dak's contract is boxing these guys out. I think Jerry's just late to the party and screwing up these contracts. I think there was room for Micah, obviously.
I do too, and I don't want to let Jerry off the hook here, but we never talk about that aspect of it, which is Jerry said yesterday on 105.3, the fan in Dallas, he goes, I offered Micah Parsons the best deal I could possibly ask him.
Yeah, offer him the highest deal of any pass rusher in the league.
And Green Bay blew it out of the water.
Right, but
So,
I'm saying like I think Jerry's offer to Micah was fine at the time. I mean, should he really be making more than T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett? No, he's not better than Myles Garrett.
He couldn't go the extra mile, but he was up and he was due, and they knew that.
So Myles Garrett was not in such a different situation. I feel like he wasn't up. I mean, he had another year.
I'm saying he was next. He had already delayed it so that CeeDee Lamb could get paid, and it's like was that the right move? And then I just asked about Dak. Like we talk about these franchise quarterbacks. Can they try to make it a little easier on their organizations?
If Dak took less, you really think that would put the Cowboys over the top?
I don't know.
I know. No. Jerry Jones is our GM. Dak could take $5 a year, and he's not building a winner there.
Well, you got your Super Bowl this week because Micah Parsons is coming to town.
By the way, has Jerry said this is our Super Bowl?
He just said, well, I'll play you the clip. Man,
I want to hear that. I want to hear
extra motivation to beat Parsons and the Packers. This would be clip 4.
Jerry, do you feel any extra competitive drive to win this week with Micah Parsons coming back?
Yes, I do. And I think that, of course, I have said this time and time again, I think the world of Micah. And as an individual, and, of course, know him well, and I might say I wish him well, except it's obvious I don't this weekend in terms of Green Bay winning the ball game.
I just think that
quote read to you. This is our Super Bowl.
You are, but you're saying that if they do win, this is a huge coup for Jerry.
Definitely. But I don't think. First of all, he was asked the question very directly.
Okay.
That was very tame for Jerry.
Okay.
I'm actually impressed that he is reserved in that answer.
This is where I think it's Jerry's Super Bowl, is the day that he came out and said the quiet part out loud, which is when people aren't talking about us, I'll do something to stir it up. Like, it's all about headlines. It's not about actual winning. And I'm not breaking any news to a Cowboy fan there.
Well, I mean, I can't believe you're saying that about Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones, who, the guy won a Super Bowl just the other day. Oh, wait, that was 30 years ago. Yeah, of course. Now, the thing is, like, this win would be huge. I think you're underestimating what a win here with all these injuries would mean it would be, because if they could beat the Packers with those injuries, who else can they beat? If they got healthy, like they're bringing back basically an all-star team in 6 weeks. I think you're way underestimating the potential of a win here, which it's not going to happen. But I'm picking the Packers.
This is why they play the games, right? 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Would a Cowboys win on Sunday make you feel better about the Cowboys situation? You can go to Maggie and Pearl and vote. I don't know. Do we have enough time here to do this? You're giving me the yes? Let's do it. Let's do the great debate.
The Great Debate Series.
All right, bro. Mike Gundy was fired yesterday as the head coach of the Oklahoma State Cowboys. So I ask you this question.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Which college coach is most identifiable with one school?
Okay.
Go ahead.
For me, this is easy. It's got to be Bear Bryant in Alabama. For one, he's got the gear, like he's got the hat. So you know that. And you see that hat, you immediately think of Alabama. And he was in Forrest Gump as the coach of Alabama. And nobody else here is going to have a guy that was in an Oscar-winning movie identified with one team. So for me, he was there from 1958 to 1982. Then he died in 1983, which is an interesting trend with these lifetime coaches. So that's forever and ever. One of the all-time winningest coaches. Really was the original, like, king of the mountain coach. Like, it was Bear Bryant. He was like Adolph Rupp and Dean Smith in college basketball. He was the guy. So for me, Alabama, Bear Bryant.
Just makes it perfect. This just makes it perfect. We're behind. They're all fired up. We got class, we're going to find it out. We've got class, and I know we got it. Then when we get the ball, we got to have 11 people. 11 people that's just going to do their job, whatever it is. Just going to do their job and try to score every time you get the football. If we do that, we'll be all right. If we do that, we'll be all right. The offensive team has started. The same team started when offense has started, except Stable at quarterback. Okay, can we get together?
Oh, good footage.
Old school,
EJ.
baby.
By the way, I don't know if that's the only coach who was portrayed in an Oscar-winning movie, but we'll get to that in a little bit because we're asking you the great debate, which college coach is most identifiable with one school? To me, that is Bobby Bowden.
There is going to be adversity, and that's one of the great teachings of football. There is going to be adversity. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to get ripped apart. The other team is going to move the ball on you. But you can't quit. You can't let up. You must back off and regroup and come back. And if they don't do that, if these kids don't do that, they don't have the patience that it takes, see? Because usually a young kid gets knocked down and starts getting beat, he quits. He hangs his head. He thinks he's beat. See, and we can't have that. So we're going to teach these guys you can't do it that way. You get knocked down, you got to get up.
You're talking about Bear Bryant's famous houndstooth hat. I think the Bobby Bowden, when I think of that sort of, what are those hats called? It's kind of straw, not straw hat. That's like a scarecrow. I'm thinking about what is the name of that hat? Anyway,
what is that straw hat? But yeah, I know what you're
he's wearing it, and it's got the FSU logo on it. 33 years, a 73% winning percentage, the 2 national championships, the 12 ACC titles. And then I think what's important also for Bobby Bowden is not just the amount of success that he had at one place in Florida State, but also the amount of ambassadors that he had off of that, which is the guys he sent to the Hall of Fame, College Football Hall of Fame, Pro Football Hall of Fame, who would talk about him with the reverence that he demanded and received. You know, you're talking about Deion Sanders, one of the most famous football players of all time. Where did he go to college? He went to Florida State. You're talking about Derek Brooks, Walter Jones, Warwick Dunn, Charlie Ward, especially Charlie Ward. Occupies a place in sports lore because he won the Heisman, then became a star in the NBA. All these things all tie back to Florida State to me. And Bobby Bowden was the figurehead and not more than that, but the one person you associated with that program. So to me, it's Bobby Bowden. EJ, go ahead.
All right. So when we think about one coach with one school, Perloff got the right school but got the wrong coach.
What are we doing? Your hands are back here, man. Might as well stick them up your Come on, Julio, let's go. Come on, break on the ball. You got one guy breaking on the ball. No, Terrell, run the route again. Damn it, it's cut. You don't have anybody to flat. And I'm going to tell you what, if I had a barometer up your ass to say whether you were giving effort or not, it was about 50%.
That's right. The Nick Saban, who passed Bear Bryant for most national championships. He won 7, 6 at Alabama, 9 conference titles, 47 consensus All-Americans, and 4 Heisman Trophy winners. Nick Saban, the new age coach that we think about with one school, that is the Crimson Tide.
That's what I was going to say. Wasn't Nick Saban in The Blind Side?
Yeah, but he wasn't even the Alabama coach in that movie.
Oh, yeah. That's the one thing going against Nick Saban, right? Won a national championship at LSU.
Yeah.
So we're asking, which college coach is most identifiable with one school? This is.
By the way, Blindside did definitely not win an Oscar, and that was a very overrated movie.
It definitely did win an Oscar.
It won the Oscar?
Sandra Bullock definitely
Yeah,
won.
Sandra Bullock won an Oscar.
Well,
It won an Oscar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Because
But
you
it's
said
not
that Bear
Forrest
Bryant.
Gump.
Well, yeah, you said Bear Bryant was portrayed in Forrest Gump. What other coach is going to be in an Oscar-winning movie? And it was like Nick Saban.
Right.
Also
With
New
that,
Rodney-
I
New
wonder if
Rodney,
you're talking
right?
about. I thought you were talking about because there's a Notre Dame guy who definitely also wasn't in a famous movie.
Get to that. Okay, Manny, who, in your opinion, is the college coach most identifiable with one school?
Most identifiable with one school. That's the key words for me. It ended disgustingly, heinous acts, but I'm going to have to go with Joe Pa at Penn State.
I say many times, and the kids hear me say it, and 1,000 times a year, you either get better or you get worse. You can't stay in one place. You can't be the same football team next week you were last week, just like you can't be the same person. And if they go out to practice and they don't practice trying to get better, all right, they get some bad habits, they get a little bit sloppy, they don't concentrate, and you come off the field actually not as good as you were when you went on it.
And you don't have to be a college football fan. You don't have to be a fan of sports to know how things ended at Penn State for Joe Paterno. But, I mean, most identifiable with one school. I mean, the guy won 409 games before, 100 of them were vacated. He won 409 games at one school and was there from 66 to 2011. So, I mean, most identifiable with one school, it's Joe Pa.
Finally, but I'm sorry.
Did anyone else look at Joe Pa and say, "Nah, I'm not going there"?
Yes,
that was me.
Yeah.
Yes,
100%.
I had he was my second opinion, but I had to go with Joe Pa, man.
He fits this. Which college coach is most identifiable with one school, Bogues? You get the final word.
This one's a little personal. It's a little factual as well. With all due respect and apologies to William and Mary, NC State, Arkansas, Minnesota, and South Carolina, and maybe the Jets.
Good God, this guy was everywhere.
When I think of Notre Dame football, I think of one head coach.
Thing to do isn't to punch him, isn't to talk to him. There's only one way you get respect, and that's by looking somebody in the eye for 60 minutes. Go out there, hitch up your trousers, and say, "Hey, baby, here I am now. Let me see you run through me now. Let me see you show some disrespect for me with a nose on your nose. Let me see what you think of me now that my face is to you." We talk about respect. And we're talking about respect around the country. There's one thing that we want more than anything else, and that's respect.
That is Lou Holtz. Only 11 years in South Bend, but I spent a lot of Saturdays watching Notre Dame football with my grandfather, and Notre Dame football was Lou Holtz being Lou Holtz on the sideline.
Would you go? I was thinking, like, is he the winningest Notre Dame coach? And I thought Newt Rockne was there.
So
right?
you've got Newt Rockne, you've got Leahy, you've got Parsons. Like, there's a lot of Notre Dame coaches.
Brian Kelly won a ton, too.
Yeah, so I mean, this is about, I guess, my narrative, being younger-ish.
Can I say I'm right there with you? They put their pants on the same way as us. Oh, Lou Holtz is Notre Dame. He's the best. Rocket Ishmael, Lou Holtz.
Yeah, a little Rick Meyer.
All right, there you go. Inspired by Mike Gundy, who was shown the door yesterday
I'm 40.
at Oklahoma State. 18 years after I'm a man, I'm 40. Very much a man. Now, was close to a senior.
I would never take that Oklahoma State job because you will always be in the shadow of Mike Gundy. Unless you're amazing. Like, that guy is Oklahoma State football.
I know, but he didn't win he hasn't, basically beaten an FBS team in almost 2 years.
Yeah.
This is as good as it
fair.
gets as far as following a legend.
I see what you're saying, but as far as character-wise, there's no way there's another Mike Gundy.
I'll give you that. Unless they try to go with John Gruden or something to replace him, but
That's actually I take it back.
Well, there you go. Okay, so which college coach is most identifiable with one school? Give us a call, 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476, or you can drop your responses in the chat. YouTube.com/InfinitySportsNet, Twitch.tv/InfinitySportsNetwork. All right, Pro, we're obsessed with Prize Picks around here. Everyone knows it. It's the first thing we talk about in the morning. It's the last thing we talk about before we all depart for the day, because this is the type of thing we love around here. Football is in full swing. Baseball is coming down to the wire. And normally I would not pair the Mets and the Atlanta Braves together because they're mortal enemies. But how about a little Ronald Acuna Jr., more than 9.5 hitter fantasy score, and you can put that with Juan Soto, more than 6.5 hitter fantasy score. This is a time when enemies make good bedfellows. But that's not all you can do. Yeah, thank you to Prize Picks.
By the way, this is also when I ask Manny, who is this soccer player? There's a guy named Hitcham right now. Do you know this guy?
Where does he play?
He is a Moroccan winger. I don't even know where he is now.
He plays for Nice.
He plays for who?
Nice.
Who's Nice? So you can learn that
amazing.
kind of thing. Well, I'll tell you one thing right now. I'll bet you he's having under 38.5 pass attempts tonight.
Oh, is that right?
Who's Nice?
That's the thing about Prize Picks. You can take your takes and you can win off of them. It's all transactions are fast, safe, and secure. Don't miss any of the action and a chance to learn about soccer this season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code M&P to get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code M&P on Prize Picks to get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing, even if you don't know what team they play for. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, it's good to be right, must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
That's French.
Mand P. You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff. We're doing 70s music today, and it's a lot of fun. So the Great Debate Wednesday, what college coach is most identified with this program in the history of the sport? I went with Bear Bryant. Maggie?
I went with Bobby Bowden. PJ is on the phone. He went with Nick Saban of Alabama.
I went with Joe Paterno.
And Bogish.
Lou Holtz.
Lou Holtz. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, I think I win this thing. I think
because you just always do.
In this debate, you need to have an item of clothing that is most associated. Like nowadays, that's the problem. Like Dan Lanning, like what does Dan Lanning wear that identifies him?
So you think Bill Belichick was only good because of the cutoff sleeves?
Yeah. To win a debate like this, you need a certain kind of outfit. You have a hat, but Bobby Bowden wasn't nearly as consistent as Bear Bryant's hat. I'm seeing a lot of images of wearing different styles of hats. You need a jacket, like or maybe like some kind of sport jacket, like Wim Sanderson back in the day. Lou Holtz wore that windbreaker.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. But I think that's the important thing
It
here.
has nothing to do with the wins, the losses. It's all about who wore it best.
Who had the drip.
Yeah. I'm surprised we never got all the Vogue magazine never did a college coaches edition.
I mean, Dan Lanning's great, but dude, get a look. Okay?
Lou Holtz in the Travis Kelce GQ shoot. Fur and camo
fur
and
coat in a swamp.
Holding a gator.
So weird.
Get a look, says McLovin.
Mike's in Seattle. Mike, who did we miss? Which one college coach is most identifiable with one school?
Eddie Robinson from Grambling.
You are so right. At my calculations, 56 years coaching at Grambling State.
56, yeah, that's crazy.
Unbelievable. You're right.
I grew up in Philly. I'm a Jewish kid, right? But I went to University of Hawaii to play football, but I always wanted to go to Grambling, but, I just the Jewish kid in Grambling, right?
Hey, why not?
Keep dreaming, man.
Sure. Ryan is in Boise. I'm just going to leave that. Ryan, who is the one college coach most identifiable with one school?
All right, so I think this guy is someone who was before my time, so it says that even though I went to this school later, his name still is it just goes right with this school, which is Lavelle Edwards and BYU. He's like, his coaching tree in the NFL, he's everywhere still. He is like everything about BYU. And he has the flat bill hat before flat bill hats were even cool, so he even has the little bit of the attire you're acquiring in the whole thing.
Ryan, way to play along with Perloff there, that you need to have a specific article of clothing if you're going to be identifiable with one school. He's got the flat brim hat. So Lavelle Edwards not only was the head coach of BYU from 1972 to 2000, he was an assistant from 62 to 71. So he's there from 62 to 2000.
Wow.
That's insane.
Also, by the way, like a huge innovator. I read a book on the innovation of the spread offense. It had Steve Sarkisian on the cover as the BYU quarterback.
Yeah.
Because he played for Lavelle Edwards, who then all the other guys, his coaching tree is all the spread guys, were unbelievable. Changed the game. When I was a kid, BYU was like the passing school.
And Steve Young and Jim McMahon and Ty
the
Detmer.
Brothers,
Yep.
Ed Coy. Let's not forget Coy. Let's not forget Shiloh. Coy was the Shiloh of the BYU legacy.
Don't forget, you know I had 2 sons, right?
You have 3, sir. Coy Detmer is the Shiloh Sanders.
Yeah. I've said that. I've always said that. I've always been talking about the BYU quarterback. Did you say Mark Wilson spelled with a C, by the way?
And let's not forget Shallow.
The coaching tree for Lavelle Edwards. Mike Holmgren, of course. Sark, as you mentioned. Norm Chow. Kyle Whittingham. Brian Billick is in there.
Andy
Kalani Sataki.
Reed played for him, right? Or no, did he go to BYU? Or am I imagining that?
Thought he did.
I thought he did too.
And I'm almost sure he played with Lavelle Edwards. I mean, that's pretty amazing. But I don't know if that was the right answer, by the way.
Real quick, is this college football coaches or is this open to anybody?
College. Because we're going off Mike Gundy
football.
getting.
Okay. I was just curious.
Why? You got something else?
Oh, suddenly Mike Krzyzewski kind of came to mind.
Oh, yeah. If we did basketball, then no doubt.
Well,
but no,
I mean,
let's do college football.
The rundown says college coach, so I was just asking.
Yeah.
Wait, you're going to throw Pat Summitt out here? What are you trying to do? Get off Joe Bob?
Okay. Let's go to Israel Bentley, who's in Atlanta. And I got both names there. What's up, Israel?
You got him right. This is Israel, and thank you, MFP, for taking my call. And that you got a good up-and-coming producer, man. I want to just give him a shout-out right quick. He's a young gunner, man. He's going to be all right.
We got a lot of talent on this show.
No, he is. You have a lot. And before I explain to America why Maggie is 100% right, and I'm sorry, Pete, but she's schooling you on why it's irrelevant, whether or not Dallas wins. The brother, he took my answer with Grambling. My dad, he coached football at Morehouse back in the day, and we actually went against them. They won, of course. But that was my answer, man. I give him credit for that. As far as being a Jewish kid, I personally gave a scholarship to a Korean kid named Alex Wynn to Morehouse College. So anything is possible. I just want to say that, my brother.
See, we need more of this in these divided times. I love it.
Yeah, and I appreciate you. And this is why it's irrelevant. I don't care. They could be all, man. Let me tell you why it's irrelevant. The 85 Bears. Who they lose to that one game? The worst team in the league, Miami Dolphins. The 72-win Bulls. They lost to the 9-win Toronto Raptors expansion team. Just because a squirrel gets lucky and finds a nut doesn't change the fact that Old Man River owns the team and is their general manager. I don't care if they win.
Israel, the Dolphins were 12-4 that year. They Dan Marino.
You're getting hung up on the wrong things.
My dad did, but I know that 72 Bulls team, the 72-win Bulls team definitely lost to the Raptors, though. Teams win. They're professionals. Okay, they can go out and win, but that doesn't mean because they win this game, okay, Green Bay might look past them that they're going to go to the playoffs and be anything special. And as far as the coach that you asked who could be there for 20 years, I would have to say if he chooses to, it would be Kirby Smart if he chooses to.
Yeah, Israel, thank you so much for the call. Kind of off the Mike Gundy conversation, we're asking you which college coach is most identifiable with one school, and you're welcome to weigh in on that at 888-710-4ISN. But also, Pearl, who will be the next guy who stays for 20 years? Now, Kirk Ferentz has already put in over 25 years. He took over
but
in 99, I believe.
The debate is not just longevity. It's also sort of character. I think, honestly, Dabo Swinney's more connected to Clemson than Kirby is to Georgia, in a way. Because like Dabo built that program out of nothing. Kirby, it's not like he also built Georgia, but also Kirby's not that charismatic. I don't think that's even debatable. Like, what is Kirby's piece of clothing? He wears a visor, right? But it's
What's
not
his piece of clothing?
like you mentioned. Bobby Bada,
Definitely
like
visor.
Kirby Smart, I think is a little more low key. I think he'd be a hard answer in this question.
I have somebody who nobody has brought up yet, and I'm really surprised. I'm seeing all the phone calls here, and no one has it on hold either. Steve Spurrier?
I mean, how long was he at Florida? I
thought about Spurrier, but I think he was kind of a big deal in South Carolina. Like that wasn't like nothing. Like he had Jadeveon Clowney that went, obviously no one picking the draft. That was really.
But he played at Florida and coached there.
No, definitely. I just think that he suffers a little bit from. He was at South Carolina for a little while. That wasn't like a short time. And they might have won the first time. I think they won the SEC East was under Spurrier.
He's also got the Urban thing. Like Urban was a force. That could Urban was a big deal at Florida.
So 12 years at Florida, 11 years at South Carolina.
That's a long time
for Spurrier.
Yeah, I mean, we did. Joe Paterno was at 53 years.
No, I get
11
it.
years is a little different.
But when you think Florida football, you don't think Steve Spurrier?
Manny? No, I think Urban Meyer.
Youth.
Listen, Steve Spurrier to me is a South Carolina coach.
Wow,
sorry,
that's
guys.
crazy.
I'm so sorry.
Young
I
people.
just whispered into Bogish's ear asking if this is bad, and evidently it is.
Let's get to Bogish. He's got the latest headlines. It's all right.
Sorry, guys.
This one, guys, came out of nowhere yesterday. Oklahoma QB / Heisman candidate John Mateer undergoing right hand surgery today. He got hurt in Saturday's win over Auburn. It's reportedly a broken bone will cost him a month, which would include the Red River rivalry with Texas on October
Way to
11th.
enunciate.
Well done.
Pearl made a quick reference to this last hour. The Texans have released safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson after just 3 games. He started all of them, had 15 tackles, but the Houston secondary has given up too many big plays. Head coach Brian Callahan has released himself as the Titans' offensive play caller. QB coach Bo Hardigree takes over, not offensive coordinator Nick Holtz. It is not the Tigers and Guardians, but the Mariners on the verge of flipping the AL West.
Munoz, the 0-2 on the way to Carroll's. Here she comes. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. The Mariners will play in October. Cal Raleigh with the underhand toss. The nailer. The Mariners are going to the postseason. And the fans are going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
Rick Riz on Mariners Radio. Seattle clinching a playoff spot with last night's 4-3 win over the Rockies. And since the Astros lost to the A's 5-1, the M's lead the division by 4 games with 5 to play. Wow. Houston has lost 4 straight. They sit a game behind Detroit for the last wild card spot. The Yankees also clinching a playoff spot with a 3-2 home win over the White Sox. The Jays, meanwhile, took a 4-1 loss from the Red Sox, so Toronto's AL East lead on New York is down to a single game.
We're so back.
The New York Liberty turned a few heads yesterday when they announced that head coach Sandy Bordello would not return just a year after leading the team to the title. Now, when the Liberty lost in round 1 last week, Breanna Stewart was asked about whispers about her coach's job security, with Brondello sitting right next to her.
To anybody that kind of questions Sandy being here, like, this is a resilient group, and she has our back and we have hers. And the way that she continued to kind of, I don't know, deal with the cards she was dealt, like, was incredible.
Those cards included multiple major injuries, including one to Stewart. Other players spoke strongly about their head coach too, but none of it matters as the Liberty do move on from her.
Sandy's great, and she's going to get another job, but I can see why they did this. I just feel like for a team that won a championship to go out in the first round and barely make the playoffs, that was not acceptable.
Even with the injuries?
I think so. Too much talent on that team.
On the court last night, Asia Wilson, 25 points. The Aces Tylenol the fever, 90-68, and the Mercury went from 20 down in the third to an 89-83 OT win in Minnesota. Both these best-of-5 semifinals are now tied at a game apiece.
I really hated that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew Bogish. Coming up next, we have more of your phone calls. We're asking you today, which college coach is most identifiable with one school? We can see you guys on hold. These are awesome selections, so hang tight. You can also drop your responses in the chat. YouTube.com/Infinity Sportsnet, Twitch.tv/Infinity Sports Network. Vote on our poll. Would beating the Packers make you feel better about the Cowboys situation and the Micah Parsons trade? That's at Maggie and Pearl. And Deion Sanders.
No.
Weighing in on all things. We'll tell you the latest next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining.
Well, Drop Sam's got the flag in his hand, streaming Maggie and Perloff across this land. He's cracking a cold one before the sun, saying Columbus Day's the holiday when the party's just begun. So raise a glass to the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. Drop Sam shouts out with a loud hallelujah. He's singing along with that YouTube stream. Maggie and Perloff are living the dream. But old Peter Bellotti, he ain't in sight. Skipped out on work like every holiday night. Stars and stripes hanging on the old porch rail. Sam's got a cooler like a Columbus Day sale. Neighbors shake their heads, but they all still grin, 'cause every holiday's a reason for Sam to dive in. So raise a glass to the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. Uncle Sam shouts out with a loud hallelujah. He's singing along with that YouTube stream. Maggie and Perloff are living the dream. But old Peter Bellotti, he ain't in sight. Skipped out on work every holiday day. He called out again like don't count on me. Maggie's laughing, Perloff shaking his head. Sam's got 3 flags stuck out on the shed. Fireworks cracking on a Monday night, celebrating Columbus by neon light. So pour one out for the land of the free. Drunkle Sam's the king of holiday TV. He's dancing around to that WFAN jam with Maggie Perloff and his red, white, blue can. Somewhere Bellotti's still fast asleep.
30 seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, this Thursday night football preview is sponsored by Square. More than 4 million neighborhood businesses run on Square. To learn more, go to square.com or just stop by your favorite local business. See you in the neighborhood, Square. All right, Manny Pigskin. Oh, I thought this was like the NASCAR preview where Manny was going to give us something.
No,
well,
I want to talk about this game, for goodness sakes. Manny, take a seat.
Seahawks Cardinals, which is a game that is for... Since they invented football, was supposed to be at 4:05 Eastern on Sunday and be like, you're exhausted. Like, oh, those two teams are playing. The Cardinals are 2-1. They're going to be 7-7 and fall apart at the end of the season. But I'm really interested in the Seahawks.
No, I love this game, actually, because you got the Seahawks obviously coming off of this huge win, and then Arizona was in this rock fight against the San Francisco 49ers. I want to see if Marvin Harrison if they can get him the ball consistently. Like, that's my biggest.
Can he catch it? Who cares if they get it to him? The dude dropped the ball right between his numbers.
So it was funny because that first game, he was 5 receptions on 6 targets for 71 yards and a touchdown. It's like, okay, here we go. This is Marvin Harrison. You took him with the 4th pick overall. Then the next week against Carolina, of all people, 5 targets, 2 catches. And then last week at San Francisco, 6 targets, 3 catches. And we haven't had a touchdown since week 1. To me, this is I know Jonathan Gannon is a defensive guy, but you've got to be able to get Marvin Harrison the ball.
No, I mean, this on Marvin Harrison. I mean, people were wondering if, Monstars in Space Jam?
Yeah.
When they take the power, like, what happened to Marvin Harrison? That dude, he's not good right now. I mean, it went viral. He dropped the ball in the end zone last week. There's something going on there. It is really a huge disappointment for Arizona. You're right. They do need to get him ball more consistently, but he's got to deliver. But Arizona, does it feel like the same movie again and again and again and again? Fast start. They're in a lot of close games. To me, it's all about, is Sam Darnold the real deal? And I think he'll be tested in this game. New Orleans at home, obviously that didn't mean anything. I told you to bet 7.5, take the Saints.
I think you said, the Saints were going to be live in that game. And I think they were out of it in the first quarter.
No, the Saints were really pretty close the first 2 weeks, and then they just gave up on life. But I don't know. Seattle, if they can run the ball with Kenneth Walker and JSN is the star we think he is, or wide receiver number 1, that's a playoff team.
Well, their defense is definitely good enough. Seattle's defense.
Are you sure?
I think so.
I mean, I feel like Seattle's another team that is usually floating around 8-9, 9-8, 10-7. I think this is all about, can Darnold keep being the Sam Darnold from last year, which would be really interesting because I think a lot of people thought he would take a major step back here.
This is going to be a fun one. Thursday night. So you got Seahawks at Arizona Cardinals. That's going to be awesome. We are asking you today, loosely inspired by Mike Gundy being shown the door. Why did I say that weird? Mike Gundy being shown the door at Oklahoma State. Which college coach is most identifiable with one school? That's our great debate for today. Let's go to Brent, who's in Seattle. Brent, who do you have, sir?
Don James and Jim Lambright from Washington. I'm old now. I'm 53, so I don't know if people remember Don James. But
53 is not old, Jim, sir.
Thank you, but nobody outside Seattle talks about him anymore. And Sports Illustrated once said, "Who are the 3 best coaches in college football? Don James, Don James, Don James."
I feel like Don James is a cult hero in Seattle. You're right. Nobody nationally ever talked about that guy, but he's huge in Washington State.
That is true. He is a legend here. Now one of his assistants that was the defensive coordinator for his predecessor, Jim Owens, was Jim Lambright. And Jim Lambright came to play for Washington, I think, in 1960, and he stayed until he was fired as head coach after the 1998 season. And when Lambright was fired, he was involved in like 40% of the games in Washington history.
Man,
so you got to throw Jim Lambright in there too.
Yeah, and Lambright took over for Don James. Thank you. So that was the baton here. Jim Owens to Don James to Jim Lambright. Pretty amazing. We're asking you which one coach, though, is most identifiable with one school. College coach.
You could put Chris Peterson on that list for Boise, maybe.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah, the former Washington coach, and you could have put Callahan DeBoer if he didn't leave.
Is this the Nick in Texas or a different Nick in Texas?
This is the Nick in Texas. And good morning, my friend.
Nick, haven't heard from you in a while, dude. How you been?
Oh, I've been very good. The kids are back in school, full-blown, having a great time. And then Perloff had to bring up successful coaches that were fashionable. So, of course, I had to go back to my roots of Iowa, and you almost hit on it. But Hayden Fry, with his aviators and his classic, boxy hat and that Tom Selleck mustache, that was very, very fashionable back in the 80s and 90s. I mean, he coached for a very long time, too.
Was the show Coach kind of based on Hayden Fry? Am I imagining that? With Craig T. Nelson? Any knowledge of that, Nick?
Oh, Well, I mean, he was more in Minnesota, so I don't know if he was really based off of that.
I don't know where I got that from. By the way, happy birthday. We're late on a shout-out for you.
I appreciate that. Yes, I had a great birthday on Monday. All I did was went to Topgolf, hit some balls with some good friends. But, hey, before we get off on fashionable stuff, I might have missed a show that you were talking about it, but EJ, please explain to me your little cowboy outfit with the leather pants, the big old gold belt buckle, and the black cowboy hat.
This started, this was the last 2 weeks ago. It was a great debate when I said Jerry Glanville was my pick for most charismatic NFL coach. And the picture we posted, because Jerry Glanville famously loved black, loved Johnny Cash. This picture of, Jerry Glanville, a real picture, dressed as Johnny Cash. And then our great Andrew Kaplan then decided to make me look like Jerry Glanville, dressed like Johnny Cash.
Honestly, EJ, if you were thinking of anything else for Halloween, you're barking up the wrong tree. You should be Jerry Glanville for Halloween.
I think the 2 costumes, maybe.
Those leather pants. I don't know. That's the first thing I saw was the belt buckle, followed by the leather pants, and I couldn't stop from there.
Nick, you're the man. Say hi to the family for us. So good to hear from you. Nick is fantastic. He, for many years, has run the Maggie and Perloff Pearl Jam, our NCAA tournament pool, which is so great.
Yeah.
And we'll be back up in March. We'll be here before we know it.
Nick texted me the other day, and he said, can you have Bogusch give me a birthday shout-out in his update? And I just forgot to tell Bogusch.
We should start charging for that.
Bad guy. No. That was a bad guy move.
No, are you kidding me? Nick should charge us.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
No, not for Nick. Nick's always on the house.
But why do it and why can't you or I give him a shout out? Why did Bogusch have to do it in the update? It's like it's a news story. It's like the Mariners clinch and happy birthday, Nick. I think we should have Bogusch give birthday shout outs. I kind of like this.
That could be fun. Do we do the breaking glass for that? Like the breaking news sounder for breaking news? It's Nick's birthday. Okay. Let's get to Mike in San Diego. We're asking which college coach is most identifiable with one school. What do you have, Mike?
Good morning, Maggie. Well, being a local San Diego State boy from years ago, my first personally would be Don Coryell, of course, and John Madden was underneath him. But my choice for your purposes would be John McKay from USC.
Yeah, John McKay is a great one, Mike. Thank you for that. We're asking the one coach most identifiable with one school. But I think for he wasn't there for nearly as long, but I think that Pete Carroll gets a lot of identified with USC.
Oh, you see, the thing about both those guys is they went on to have success in the NFL. Like Pete Carroll's the Seahawks guy, too. And John McKay was the Bucs. He was awesome there, too. Go ahead.
Let's go to Louis, who's in Oklahoma. What do you have, Louis? The one college football coach most identifiable with one school.
Hey, we got Woody Hayes from Ohio State.
Man, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about Woody Hayes, but the same thing with, not the exact same because the time's not the same, but Pearl, the same thing with Steve Spurrier and how Urban Meyer. Now, Urban Meyer's never going to be associated just with Ohio State.
Yeah. No, I feel like...
Yeah, Woody Hayes, Bo Schembechler, definitely Ohio State, Michigan, no doubt.
You could do Woody Hayes and Bo Schembechler as one answer to this question.
But I guess maybe I was thinking about this backwards. I was actually, and Louis, thank you for the call bringing this up. Kind of the way I was looking at it was actually, I think I flipped this in my mind without even realizing it. I think I was doing which school is most identified with one coach.
Interesting.
And I think
really?
I think I flipped it in my mind. Because, of course, Woody Hayes is most identified with Ohio State. Bo Schembechler, Lloyd Carter.
Yeah, but you picked Bobby Bowden. He's
I picked Bobby
all-time Mount Rushmore.
He is, but I picked of FSU. I think you think Bobby Bowden, not Bobby Bowden. I think, does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you could do Tom Osborne, Nebraska, too, and obviously Barry
and Barry
with
Alvarez.
Oklahoma.
Yep.
Barry Switzer, Oklahoma.
I was going Barry Alvarez with Wisconsin.
Well, yeah, but I think the answer to this question has to be a guy who won national titles, in my opinion. I mean, we're talking like, Barry Alvarez definitely fits that, and so does Kirk Ferentz. But, we're talking about Woody Hayes and Bear Bryant and Joe Paterno.
That is true. Keep them coming. Which college football coach is most identifiable with one school? And we're doing this off of Mike Gundy getting fired from Oklahoma State yesterday. All right, coming up. Cowboys are being petty. I think it's a bad look. Tell you what we mean next. M&P.
you're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Even if somehow the Cowboys pull off this win against the Green Bay Packers, it doesn't mean that they've won the Micah Parsons trade. And in fact, it doesn't mean anything. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray Andrew Perloff. It'd be like a sugar spike and then right back down to reality, Pearl, which is that this Dallas Cowboys defense is not nearly good enough to even be a playoff team, let alone anything more than that. You want to beat Micah Parsons. If you're Jerry Jones, this is your big moment, fine. Even if they pull this off, it doesn't mean the Cowboys are now going to be a consistent winner. I just can't buy it.
You're talking tough, Maggie, but I'd like to see you resist the drug that is the Dallas Cowboys. If they beat the Green Bay Packers with the amount of hype they get in a situation where several of their good players are injured, I think it would be an incredible achievement, and it would bode well for the possibility that they could actually turn around the season and make the wild card. I mean, right now it does not look good. I mean, their line is all beat up, their offensive line. CeeDee Lamb has a high ankle sprain, and their cornerbacks, there's something going on there. I mean, Deron Bland will hopefully return, but Trayvon Diggs, something's wrong. You can easily tell that. So there's all sorts of problems. If they find a way to beat one of the best teams in the NFL, and I still think the Packers are there, that would say so much about this team. Not Super Bowl, obviously, but it would say, wow, watch out. The Cowboys are not a fun team to play with. I got to tell you, the Cowboys looked great in week 1 against the Eagles. Their defense looked terrible, but their offense was fantastic against what was supposed to be a really good Eagles defense.
Yeah, but that was just a weird game because it ended up being that weird weather delay. It stopped everything for a long time. And Dallas ends up beating the New York Giants, who may be one of the worst teams in the NFL. They just made a move to go to Jaxson Dart. Sorry, Manny. I know you're looking at me funny with that, but they have a talent and they have a collection of star players, but they're just not a very good team. And now they're going to a rookie quarterback. The one thing that helps the Cowboys is if they do win this game against the Packers, and again, it would feel like it would, it's a 7-point spread. That's huge in the NFL. Then they get at the Jets, at Carolina. But again, isn't that just the schedule makers kind of throwing Dallas a bone here? And by the way, the look-ahead line is only Dallas favored by 1.5 on the road against the New York Jets. What I'm saying is that even if they beat the Packers, it doesn't mean that the Cowboys are going anywhere. And it doesn't mean that Jerry won the trade.
No, I mean, the schedule makers threw him a bone. I mean, they did start out with the world champion Philadelphia Eagles, and they faced Green Bay. I know.
This is them saying, all right, this is the schedule makers trying to keep Dallas relevant.
Well, I think there are a lot of, actually their schedule is much easier than their Eagles, for example. They have a lot of winnable games on here. Because I got to be honest, I don't think Washington, New York, and Philly, their divisional opponents, are unbeatable right now. Philly looks a little more vulnerable than they have in the past. We don't know. Jaden Daniels can't stay healthy, and the Giants are terrible. So there's some W's on here. There's enough with Dak Prescott. Will you at least admit that Dak Prescott's a good quarterback?
Yeah, he is, but he just lost his best weapon. And CeeDee Lamb might have to go on IR. And listen, the run game is better. The offensive metrics are better, but he lost half of two-fifths of his offensive line and CeeDee Lamb.
The likely scenario is that they go to 1-3, and then 1-3, history tells us, especially with injuries, is very hard to make the playoffs. If they go 2-2, it's a totally different story. It is a whole new ball game for Dallas.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. So we're asking you today, would beating the Packers make you feel better about the Cowboys and the Micah Parsons trade? Yes, sir.
Can we do an internal freezing cold takes? Because I can't believe that Maggie would not be blown away if they won this game on Sunday night. You're telling me you're going to come in Monday morning and you're not going to be impressed by Dak Prescott and George? What if George Pickens has 150 yards receiving? What if all of a sudden they get a pass rush on Jordan Love? You will not buy that.
No. I think they would have put together one, moral victory.
Kind of bums me out that that's not going to happen, but if it did, I want to see your reaction.
Well, you never know, Pearl. That's why they play the games. Meanwhile, Nate is in Iowa, wants to talk about this matchup. What's going on, Nate?
Well, good morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call this morning. And, last weekend, if you look at that line between the Packers and the Browns last weekend, the whole thing was all Packers are going to win this game by a blowout. The Browns are one of the worst teams in the league. We've heard all the talking heads on every major network say that the Browns were one of the worst teams in the league, that they were going to lose that game. The Packers were favored by a huge point spread, and yet somehow, some way, the Browns turn around and win that game. And I know there was a lot of talk around the internet that, millions of dollars were bet on that game last weekend. Could be a situation where, a game was thrown or fixed. And now this weekend, I think now this weekend, even last week, even last year, you had a similar deal with the Cowboys. So it's funny that it's these two teams, because the Cowboys last year played a game against the Cardinals in which they were heavily favored. Big money bet on the Cowboys to win that game, and somehow, some way, a more superior Cowboys team loses to the Arizona Cardinals. Now,
Nate,
this weekend, you cut to this game.
Yeah,
you
so
cut to this weekend.
Hold on one second. Yeah. So I'm obviously here for all sports conspiracies, right? I'm the one who can't give it up with Ipe Mizuhara, Shohei Ohtani's interpreter. I have Google alerts on his name. I'm into every gambling and betting scandal imaginable. I did not see where the Packers really rose to the level of even being questionable, Pearl. I saw a little of this on the internet as well. And Nate, thanks for the call. I saw a little of this on the internet too. I'm sure you did. About Jordan Love, missing a pass, basically taking a sack. And people are saying that this was a way you knew they threw the game. Very, very sus, guys. Didn't have nearly enough to go on.
By the way, I'm seeing it. I did Google that there's some bizarre X handle that did say that it was fixed, but it was a 7.5 point spread. What's the Saints spread this weekend? It was
16.5.
It was hardly a miracle that the Browns won this game. That was the fourth biggest spread of the week. There were 3 games that were, I don't know. That didn't feel like this crazy upset to me. Am I missing something? Because the Browns obviously should have won week 1. That was a special teams gaffe. And then they were in that Ravens game until the Ravens opened it up. I just didn't think that was that surprising of a loss. This is the Browns came in, the Packers were the number 1 yards per play defense, and the Browns were number 2. The reason they lost that game is because Josh Jacobs had 16 carries for 30 yards. Mm-hmm. Do you realize how bad that is?
Yeah, it's terrible.
He's Josh Jacobs. I think that's one issue. Is that dude washed? That's really bad. Or are the Browns that good on defense? We will quickly find out Sunday night, because all that could be fixed. This could be the Sam Houston State Arch Manning get right game for Green Bay. It really could be.
I thought you were going to say we're going to find out because the Browns are playing the Lions.
No, we're going to find out with the Packers. If the Packers all of a sudden can run on the Cowboys, that will show you, hey, they just ran into the wrong defense at the wrong time.
Yeah. I did not. I was not picking up on that Green Bay game being fishy at all. But that's just me, and I don't exactly know what Nate was talking about with last year's Dallas-Arizona game. I don't remember allegations of that being
this there are allegations out there. I keep thinking, but one more thing about Cleveland. Did you see what Cleveland did to Joe Burrow?
Yeah.
I mean, but
a lot of teams do that to Burrow because his offensive line stinks. In the beginning of the year, they're just not good, even if he plays in the preseason, apparently.
Did you see the point of view where they had a camera right behind Joe Burrow and Myles Garrett did a stunt and came around in the middle? And Myles Garrett did that in the other 2 games, too. This might be because the Browns were that good. And then I think we're going to find that out on Sunday night. When the Packers get it to Dallas, I think they are going to move the ball very well.
I mean, did you see that video? They did a mic'd up with Myles Garrett, and when he got past the left tackle, you hear the left tackle yelling, "Jordan, run!"
Did you hear what Kevin?
That's a nice thing to do, by the way. You got to at least give your quarterback, "Hey, look out."
I mean, I've never seen that before. I feel like I've seen NFL films mic'd up stuff all the time, but seeing a lineman yelling at his quarterback to run because he's already been beat,
got beat.
0.5 seconds after the ball's been snapped.
Do you hear what Kevin Stefanski said, that they should just make him Defensive Player of the Year until he retires every single year? I'm kind of into it now. He is unbelievable.
He's dominant.
Yeah, I mean, who could use a dominant pass rusher like that? The Cowboys.
Where
they
could
could have got Myles
somebody?
Garrett to come home. I don't know how that would have worked. They could have traded Micah Parsons in the offseason. One headache contract for another headache contract.
See how in sync we were right there? We must be rivals of the Cowboys.
Well, actually, as an Eagles fan, I just want you all to give your good players to us.
Yeah, I know. You don't have enough good defensive players.
They tried to get Micah. They made an offer.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. As if trading him to the Packers wasn't enough of just putting the knife in and twisting it. the Eagles would have been unbearable.
Yeah, I know.
The great
Told you guys.
debate question for today, and this is inspired by Mike Gundy being let go at Oklahoma State. Which college football coach is most identifiable with one school? Let's go around the horn, Pearl. Who'd you have?
Bear Bryant, Alabama.
I had Bobby Bowden. I don't even have to say the school. You know what it is.
Nick Saban, Alabama.
Joe Paterno.
Yeah, by the way, none of us have to say the school.
I felt like for a second we were doing those like player intros.
Hingle McCringleberry, Penn State University.
I was like, Bobby Bowden. You don't even have to name the school. And Bogish went with Lou Holtz from obviously Notre Dame. Although with Lou Holtz, you might actually have to say the school. He coached so many places, but obviously Notre Dame.
Bogish named the entire ACC when he was trying to explain his pick.
I mean, most of our guys.
State, and then Clemson, and then South Carolina, and then, but trust me, it's Notre Dame.
It's fun to look at where your coach was before. I didn't realize that. I know Bear Bryant, because of Junction Boys, was obviously at A&M. Where was Bowden? West Virginia, right?
Yeah, well, you want
to
talk about
played in West Virginia.
Yeah, you want to talk about a coach that's portrayed in the movie. There's a character that portrays Bobby Bowden in the movie about Marshall. That's ran by.
Yeah.
Because Bobby Bowden, allowed Marshall coaches to come to West Virginia practices and learn the offense.
Matthew Fox was in that. That was a really good movie.
That was a great movie.
He was at West Virginia at the time, right?
Yes.
But Joe Pa, I don't know if he coached anywhere else.
No,
did
he did not. He was an assistant coach at Penn State before getting the full-time job as the head coach, and before that, he was an assistant at Penn State or something like that, something along those lines. Yep, at State College the entire career.
Have you guys ever watched the Tom Berenger movie about Bear Bryant, by the way, Junction Boys?
No.
It is the most insane, like the stuff he did, or you're really not allowed to do anymore. He's like, run your head into the wall and then don't drink water.
Yeah, well, the don't drink water thing was...
Sounds like Camp Scatterboo.
When we've been going back doing our Maggie and Perloff King of the Mountain project. We're trying to find the greatest NFL team of all time. And
water is for cowards.
And when one team wins, they get to remain King of the Mountain, and we get a new challenger every week. Like tomorrow, we're going to do the 1984 San Francisco 49ers Pearl against the 1983 L.A. Raiders?
The Los Angeles Raiders.
The Los Angeles Raiders. So that's going to be tomorrow's matchup. But I'm going back and watching all these NFL films things about these older teams, and nobody's drinking water. Like Don Shula, nobody drinks water in the 1972 Dolphins. Yeah. It was just like verboten. I'm like, how are these guys not cramping to the point of just complete and utter paralysis?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Bear Bryant. I think he started that. I mean, that's the most famous not giving water. I'm looking at that team, the Junction Boys team, by the way. You want to hear their offensive line, size-wise? Let's see. Guard, Ray Barrett, 5'9", 195. Tackle, Darrell Brown, 6'1", 190. Henry Clark there, tackle, 205 pounds. This was a different sport. Jack Pardee was on that team, though. But, yeah, that's a really, really fun movie, by the way. Tom Berenger was awesome in it.
So, well, now I'm on a Tom Berenger rabbit hole on IMDb because I'm kind of wondering where he went. Doesn't Tom Berenger...
I was actually wondering, is he alive? He is, right?
Yeah, he's alive.
Jake from Major League.
Here, you know what Tom Berenger would be perfect for? You know how Quentin Tarantino sometimes will take like older actors and put them in starring roles? Like he did this with John Travolta, and he's done it with a couple guys and kind of brings them back. Don Johnson he did this with. Like there's more. I'm just not thinking of it. Tom Berenger would be perfect if Quentin Tarantino made another film. No? Like a comeback?
Travolta was a bit younger when he made his famous comeback.
That's fine.
I don't know. I'm not sure America's calling for a Tom Berenger comeback.
Come on, people.
Kind of like, it's a good one, was Mickey Rourke in The Wrestler. That was a great comeback.
That was Darren Aronofsky, right? Maybe we could do that.
Yeah, I just think that Berenger is now 76. I'm not sure it's happening. But for what's your iconic Tom Berenger role? I know we're all going to have a different one.
Well, to me, it's Jake Taylor, but I think the real actual answer is
Platoon.
The Vietnam movie.
Yeah.
Platoon.
He's unbelievable. I mean, it's funny because he's not known as like an Oscar-winning actor type. He was Jake. But if you haven't seen Platoon, like that performance by him in that movie was incredible.
Let's go back to college football coaches who are most identifiable with one school. Sean in Oregon's got a good one. Sean, we didn't think of this. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, you guys. I wanted to put Bill Snyder on that list with K-State.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
And I also want to say that I don't think the Cowboys need a scheduler to give them a bone to stay relevant. They got the media, and they got Jerry Jones for that, and they got the Cowboy Quickie. There isn't a Cardinal Quickie.
Yeah.
You keep the Cowboys relevant. People love to talk Cowboys.
Actually, I'm glad you mentioned it, Sean, because we did have a Cowboy Quickie that I want to get to. Why Jerry is not playing a tribute video to Micah Parsons on the return. Yeah, hit the music. Why not? Let's do it.
How about it?
Thank you, Sean. I know this is actually the last thing you wanted, but here we are. And Bill Snyder, by the way, was with Kansas State from 1989 to 05 and then back again from 09 to 2018. It's a great one for our great debate today.
Yeah, I feel like if you ask me who's the Kansas State coach right now, I'm like, oh, it's Bill Snyder. But it's I know it's Colin Klein, but that's basically Bill Snyder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's his guy. So, yeah.
No doubt. So that's a great one. Meanwhile, Cowboy Quickie today. Not just asking you, would beating the Packers make you feel better about the Micah Parsons trade, but Jerry Jones not giving Micah Parsons a tribute. I don't like this. First of all, whether you like tribute videos or not is kind of like whether you like TikTok or not. It doesn't matter. It's of the time. It's of the era. So tribute videos are a thing now, Pearl. Maybe they weren't back in the day. They are now. I know Parsons wasn't there for very long, but he loved the Cowboys, only wanted to be a lifelong Cowboy, grew up a Cowboy fan. Jerry's the one telling you how smart he is for, dangling Micah Parsons out there and using the media to try to drum up his draft return, because it has trade value.
So explain to me what,
Give him the tribute.
What's this tribute video look like? Like, the guy's 25 years old. He never even signed a second contract there. Like, what are you tributing to? He never won a single thing there.
A couple highlights of him, with a big sack and then a little, hey. I mean, he was a first-round draft pick of yours, for goodness sake.
But does that count as a tribute video?
I think he was a captain, wasn't he?
I don't know. Doesn't a tribute video have to be 3 minutes, and a really good catchy song, maybe something that can make you cry a little bit, a couple highlights and a song, they'll probably end up doing something like that. But a tribute video is a big deal. Maybe we're viewing a tribute video as something different.
Listen, I think you string together 4 or 5 highlights, put them up on Jerry's gigantic TV. Put the camera on Micah Parsons. He gets a nice round of applause. I don't know if he'd get booed.
It's all about the song, too. EJ, what do you consider a tribute video? Is what Maggie describing as a tribute video? I think, when you say tribute video, something more robust.
You're thinking what Luka Doncic got, which was that very long, almost thematic kind of movie. It was like a mini movie.
Yeah, it's got to have great music, great editing.
But they do kind of multiple versions. They do that, but then they also will do the shorter version. I've seen them do that for Mets players. They do it for Knicks games. It's
5 highlights and 1 fist bump and you're out.
I just think we give too many of these things. There's guys who were, 9th guy on the bench who played for 5 seasons, they get a tribute video. I'm sorry, you don't get it. And if you're the Dallas Cowboys and you have all these Super Bowl championships and you got all these Hall of Famers, if you were there for a hot minute and you didn't win anything, you don't get a tribute video.
EJ, I was in the Garden once when I was still allowed to go there, where the Knicks rolled a tribute video to Steve Novacek. Novak?
Steve
whatever. Novocaine.
Novacek.
Sorry, Jay Novacek was for the Cowboys. Steve Novak, who was there calling games for the Bucks.
Yeah, it was probably too much. I think
was silly.
Yeah, I think we're giving out too many of these.
Once a Nick, always a Nick.
That's the Knicks motto. So I kind of understand it for them a little bit, but I just think the Cowboys, with all these teams, they're doing too many.
It's not even that. I mean, Micah Parsons just held out under contract. They don't owe him anything.
That's your Cowboy Quickie.
Why would they be a tribute to him?
Cowboy Quickie.
I'm sorry, I know that it was Jerry not talking to the agent, but he kind of screwed them too. I mean, he held out, right? A guy holds out and demands a trade, and you give him a tribute video. Would that ever happen?
Listen, the guy
maybe
said
in 2 years, but right now it's all bad.
Guy wanted to be a Cowboy for life.
What does that have to do? You keep saying that.
Here. Well, I think because he was very adamant, open about, I grew up loving this team. I wanted to be a leader of this team, all of that stuff. And it takes 2 to tango here. Jerry tried to do this weird contract thing with Micah Parsons also. You believe that, right? He was trying to hotbox him?
Yeah, which he had done many, many times to many other players.
Yeah, and it's not right. And Micah Parsons actually called his bluff. He was a very good player and a good draft pick for the Cowboys. They were just too stupid to not hang on to him.
Well, I think that, but I think he really kind of did hold out. I mean, what really, to me, he won't admit it, but sealing the deal was when he was lying on the cart. There's all right, you know what?
The training table, yeah.
Yeah, the training table. Okay, it was I mean, can you name a situation where a guy holds out and demands a trade and gets a tribute video? I guess he's Luka was the opposite. Luka didn't even want to leave Dallas.
Oh, I'm sure there's guys who have held out who've gotten a tribute video.
Like
Let
a
me just
meeting,
think about it.
like 4 weeks later?
Let's go to Derek. Meanwhile, he's in Baltimore. A great debate today is which college football coach is most identifiable with one school. Derek, who do you have?
Okay, I got the perfect answer. It's the best answer. And you guys said he has to have like some clothing.
Yeah.
Jim Tressel, Ohio State.
Good vest.
Sweet sweater vest.
But he goes against, didn't Woody Hayes have a signature look too, the former Ohio State quarterback from back in the day?
Yeah, I'm not that old, so I'm not
yeah,
sure.
I mean,
but
I don't know what the look was, but
yeah, but all I know is the vest every week on the sideline. He's been 10 years there, and I had to Google him. I just found out he's the lieutenant governor of Ohio.
What?
No.
Yes, I just found out. I just Googled it, and apparently it happened this year. So he hung up the vest for a suit.
Wait, Woody Hayes had the red windbreaker, right? Or the red jacket. I remember that, and I remember seeing pictures of that. Wait, Jim Tressel is the what now?
Yeah, he's lieutenant governor.
He's the lieutenant governor of Ohio.
I believe it.
Wait, you don't have to be like a lawyer?
No.
Okay.
What?
In 2025 here in the government? Come on.
Tommy Tuberville sure ain't a lawyer. Maybe he is, but
I don't know.
Hey, listen, we've got college coaches as lieutenant governors. We've got Wrestlers Kane, who's the mayor of Knoxville. Hey, you don't have to. Hey, anyone can be a politician nowadays.
Wait, are you thinking of Attorney General,
No,
Maggie?
I
What's
was not
going
thinking
on
of
here?
Attorney General. I guess I was thinking of it's just the person who's the next in line for the for the governor, the lieutenant governor.
In New York, you run for lieutenant governor, right? So you have to. It's a separate election from the governor. I don't know if it's like that in Ohio. I assume you had to run for lieutenant governor.
Yeah, I guess you don't need any kind of special.
Every place is different.
Maybe I was not thinking of the Attorney General.
I think you were thinking of the Attorney General.
No, I think I was just thinking of who the lieutenant governors have been in New York, and most of them were lawyers, no?
Yeah, but this is Ohio. This is all about college football, man.
Wait.
No, I get it.
Kathy Hochul was a lawyer? I assumed I figured she was just a Bills Mafia member.
Well, we're handing out some kind of degrees, but not
Sorry,
really.
Kathy Hochul was lieutenant governor under Cuomo, and then she became governor. Yeah, I don't remember. I think it's very political.
I mean,
I hate Kathy
He
Hochul.
does have a master's degree in education.
Tressel?
Yeah.
I think he taught a class at Ohio State. I'm sure he did.
Wasn't he like interim president or something like that of like Youngstown or something like that? I feel
Maybe. So you don't have to run to be lieutenant governor of Ohio,
No,
or
he
maybe
was
you do?
was nominated.
Okay.
So yeah, so he didn't have to run. He was nominated. Oh, it's because J.D. Vance became vice president. That was why.
Got it.
I don't know
so
if he
you
has
do
to, I
have
don't know
to
if
run
I don't know if
sometimes.
he has to run again. That I have to look up. But he was nominated for the spot.
I'm out.
I imagine he'd win in a landslide, right?
Yeah. He's Jim Tressel.
Right.
It's Ohio.
Well, I mean, unless he hands out free tattoos, then we have a problem. but wait, Vance
I'd
was
like one.
Vance was senator. That's what I was.
Oh, sorry. It was
yeah.
it was Senate seat. My bad. He was appointed by DeWine to fill the Senate seat vacated by J.D. Vance, who resigned after being elected vice president. Oh, yeah, exactly.
So he's not the attorney general.
He's not the lieutenant governor.
I think we lied.
I think our civics class was just went straight to you know where.
It's a good thing
Sorry.
this isn't NPR.
Let's back this up.
Not the state capitol.
John Husted was the lieutenant governor. When J.D. Vance became vice president, Husted went to be the senator. That meant that then this guy, Tressel, became lieutenant governor.
Got
You
it.
that? There we go.
Yeah. Besides, I didn't think Vance was the governor.
Yeah,
Got
he
it.
was connected to this. I messed up though.
Got an
Got
update
it.
for you. Jim Tressel said yesterday he's not going to run for governor of Ohio.
What is happening?
Also, it looks like he's turned in the vest for a suit, which is a bummer.
That's a bummer.
Are you telling me to go to break?
I don't.
That's
By the way,
fair.
there's no way Tressel's the right answer though, because it's Ohio State. It's like it's either Woody Hayes and then Urban and Tressel are kind of combined.
I know, but if you're talking about him as a coach, obviously he's identifiable as only Ohio State. That's what I'm saying. I did this backwards when I did Bobby Bowden. I thought of the school first and then the coach.
Isn't he? It was Youngstown, right? Like he's Mr. He made a name for himself at Youngstown. Like that was a thing for a little bit. But yeah, I that's the other thing too. Like he's very famous, right? As identified with that program that he totally put on the map. Anyway, Yeah, the problem with this debate is like you have to have the most famous guy from your school. Otherwise, you can't win the debate.
888-710-4ISN. You can weigh in. Coming up next, we already have one NFL coach who looks like dead man walking. We'll tell you who it is next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. 15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie Perloff. Manny, I told you to go 70s music. Now, is this 70s or 80s? Grease soundtrack?
I'm on a 70s playlist, so getting all these songs.
But we had like a certain kind of 70s, like Earth, Wind, and Fire kind of 70s.
You're not digging Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta?
No,
We just mentioned John Travolta. No,
that.
Maggie, it wasn't topical. I had actually recorded this song, and then you brought up John Travolta a few minutes later.
I love it, but I have an issue here with Andrew Bogusch again, as always.
What's that? He didn't even say anything. He just sat down.
Yeah. But were you guys listening earlier? Nick in Texas, one of our favorite callers, came in and said, "Why didn't Bogusch give me a birthday shout out?" And I want to know, Andrew Bogusch, why did you not give Nick in Texas a birthday shout out?
That exactly be how it went.
Bogusch looked at me like I had the answer.
I was just looking at the general public. Like, what? I didn't hear that. A, and B, how would I know it was his birthday?
Well, Perloff may have stretched a little of that.
No way.
Shocker. Nick reached out to Perloff to say, hey, it's my birthday. Can you tell Bogusch to give me a birthday shout out? And Perloff forgot.
Oh, that's definitely my fault.
Yeah. I was actually going to try.
Don't take me to San Antonio.
I was going to try and tell Nick it was on you, but I was too honest. But he came up with he texted me, we should do a birthdays with Bogusch, where you give birthday shout outs during the. Have you ever done that?
I haven't. I'm happy to do it after you tell me yours.
Nope, that's state secret. But you know what?
Bad guy Bogusch is back.
So you brought us the Sister Jean story earlier this morning. It's the nun who was the biggest the school mascot for Loyola Marymount. No, Loyola Chicago. Pardon me. How could I forget that? Sorry. Loyola Chicago. She's 106 years old. Do you remember on one of the morning shows, some guy used to give out a shout out to, but only people over the age of 100?
Yeah, not Wilford Brimley. What was his name? The weather guy on NBC.
Al Roker?
No, the guy before that. It was an older guy. Reminded me of grandfathers. It was like sponsored by Smuckers too.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I don't remember the name.
You should take over. You don't look old, but you could still take the torch.
Thank you. And similar audiences, too, between Infinity Sports Network and the Today Show.
You know,
I've heard that.
America.
I've heard that with our ratings.
Who was this weatherman? Who are you talking about?
It was the guy before Al Roker.
This is like who was the shortstop of the Yankees for Derek Jeter?
No. We'll all know his name.
Definitely.
Who was before?
Jim Cantori.
No.
Willard Scott.
Willard Scott.
Yeah. Very famous back in the day.
Yeah.
If you saw his picture, you would recognize him.
Yes.
Who'd you say? Wilford Brimley?
Yeah.
Willard Scott, ball fella.
Okay.
And him and Al were tight. Remember that? Like Al was worked and they were there together for a long time, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Al only exists because of Wilford Brimley / Willard Scott. He paved the way for Al Roker. Major League Baseball is finally pulling the trigger on more help for its bumbling umpires.
God.
The automated ball and strike system is coming to the majors next season. Pitchers, catchers, batters will be able to challenge a ball or strike call. Each team gets 2 such challenges. You keep it if you are right.
Amen. I hate this for one reason.
Boo. Betting. We get it. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Listen, I've got my own calls that I'll make in my own time. Just because I said I don't like to bet on the international football games. No. I love the robotic umpires. I love automated balls and strikes. But this doesn't make sense to me when you just do the challenges. Because if you miss on your first 2 challenges, say in the first inning and the third inning, if it's bases loaded, bottom of the 9th, and you get hosed on a call just because you don't have enough challenges means the call doesn't get corrected. Well, and that's really dumb. And the NFL does it differently where they go inside 2 minutes. It's a booth review. It's an automatic review. You don't need the challenge flag. If the point is to get it right, then you should be able to challenge it at any time.
So
that's baseball.
I will agree with you on that, especially because their selling point is that this takes like 2.4 seconds to get done.
It's great.
So it doesn't really affect the flow of the game to tap your helmet as the hitter, and they show like the Hawkeye digital screen and it's ball strike, and we go right back to business. So it wouldn't really do that much, except though there are that many bad calls. and you can't have like every third pitch challenge.
Well, Maggie, here's my solution to your problem. Be smarter with your challenges. Don't challenge.
Yeah, you guys
don't challenge a 0-0 count in the top of the second inning with no one on.
That's what you're missing an opportunity for hilarity. When the selfish ball player, like A-Rod would have challenged every strike immediately. His first at bat in the first inning, he would have done 2 challenges right there. It's going to show you who's a team first player. Like in basketball, when a guy airballs one, he's just like, do the circle motion. Right. Let's look at it.
Or who's going to be the most insufferable baseball player to do this? Bryce Harper?
No, Bryce is a team guy. He will not use it. Bryce is a big team guy. You guys are crazy.
But at least in the NBA, when the guy waves his finger, the coach and somebody else actually decide to challenge. The manager is not involved in this. If the batter touches his helmet, it goes. It happens.
It's so funny.
Yeah, I know.
And it's hard to tell, too, I think, because the pitch is coming in so fast.
You know what's going to happen? This is actually going to become the new unwritten rule in baseball. Like, you're going to be like, like those guys, you don't pimp a home run or you don't walk across the mound. This is going to be the next one. It's like someone's going to challenge a first inning 0-0 count. It's going to be like, that's a jerk right there.
But that will require your pitcher to hit you in retaliation for doing that.
No, I know. Just like sometimes your team is getting mad at you for not running out, just like not running out a ball, whatever. Like this is going to be that thing. Where it's going to be like
pull a guy for this.
Yes, I would love that. I want to see it.
Trade him, pull him, trade him, get the hell out of town.
On a 3-0 count, you're out of here.
Yeah. But I would think, by the way, in reality, a manager would say, "Don't challenge before the 6th inning," for example, right? Like with the bases loaded or something.
One that has a clue, yeah.
And you will talking about swinging 3-0. I think you will maybe have a guy who challenges a pitch when your team's up 11-0, and then maybe you do get drilled.
Yeah, or go through the bunt, ignore the bunt signal and swing away, like that kind of thing.
Oh, we need more bunts.
Speaking of selfish things on a sports field, just quickly, did you guys ever talk about, was Russell Wilson throwing the ball away on 4th and 2?
Who knows?
And throwing it out of the back of the end zone? He's since been benched, I get that. But was that because he didn't want an interception to go on his stat sheet? Is this the basketball players who don't want to heave half-court shots because it kills their shooting percentage?
I gotta watch it again.
I don't think that's the case because, if you've seen Russell Wilson, he threw to Malik Neighbors in triple coverage against the Cowboys in overtime, so I don't think interceptions are something that he's caring about.
But I will tell you what, taking a sack on 4th down is by far worse. Lamar Jackson not throwing that ball away, that was almost a game changer. It worked out like if you take a sack and lose 20 yards, all you have to do is throw it out of bounds and you 20 yards of field position. Like that was crazy.
Yeah, maybe I just thought Russ lost track of what the situation was.
That's not good.
But there actually would have been logic into throwing the ball away instead
on
of
4th
forcing. Down? Well, because look, in that situation, right? They're inside the 5-yard line, inside the 10.
Inside the 10.
No, the intentional grounding pushed them back.
Okay, so either way though, you throw a pick in the end zone. And it's a touchback. They're gaining a few extra yards than they did. Or you throw a ball you force it in the flat, and someone's going the other way for 6. So you can't just throw the ball to somebody. It optically looks terrible because it was near no one for the 3rd time in the whole sequence.
And it made a sound that Perloff loves, the doink.
No, it was really annoying was when Tua. Remember week 1. Tua threw a pick on the first crucial 4th down. The next one, he just took a 25-yard sack and the game was over. I think about this a lot. If I'm a quarterback on 4th down, I'm just throwing the ball straight up in the air because it's in 4th down.
Hail Mary, yeah.
Yeah, throw a Hail Mary. What do you have to lose? And I think I have to watch the play again. Maybe Russ was thinking that. It doesn't sound like it, though.
I just think Russ was so shook by that defense and what was going on that he just lost his mind. He was like, I can't throw another pick. But not in the sense like I got to see my stats. Just like I'm playing bad. I'm going to hurt my team. Not realizing, hey, dude, it's 4th down. You got to put the ball in play. Wow. 4 dropbacks. Not one receiver was intended. I just got to keep saying that because that is insane. You drop back 4 times. You didn't throw to an intended receiver when your team needs to score.
That's the play of a QB2.
Now we get Jaxson Dart.
By the way, Lamar Jackson took an 18-yard sack on 4th and 1 at the 1. So that was the crappiest play. That was worse than anything Russ did. That play was awful.
Nah, who cares about Lamar? It's all about Russ.
Yeah.
As a certain Twitter account told you this morning, we are now 8 days away from the Knicks returning to the court to play a preseason game in Abu Dhabi. They will do so under new head coach Mike Brown, who replaced the fired Tom Thibodeau. Jalen Brunson's currently listed as questionable for this game because of a broken heart.
It's sad to see a man I've known for a long time part ways with this organization, but he's meant a lot to me. I've expressed that to him publicly and personally. But yeah, he's meant a lot to my career up to this point.
The Tibbs hangover is real.
Jalen Brunson score yesterday?
Turn the off.
I'm sure he's going to really miss somebody screaming at him.
Remember when Ace Bailey tried to control the entire NBA draft this summer?
Yeah.
The man that was apparently engineering all of those canceled workouts and pick demands is now reportedly out of a job. Bailey has dropped Omar Cooper, his manager, but not a certified NBA agent. We also had a skinny Zion Williamson showing up for Pelicans.
I don't believe it.
Media day yesterday.
I'm actually surprised Perloff didn't want to lead with this.
Yeah, no, I like boxing. He's playing football to lose weight. Like, I loved everything that was going on there.
Everything but basketball
Get
still.
back to me December 1st.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it is encouraging. I think it's the weight has caused a lot of the injuries. I hope it is, because I really want to see him play.
He's also got a mean goatee.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, the goatee is like it's elite.
Does he look like his own evil twin brother?
Yes, he does. His evil, skinny twin brother.
Oh, see, I saw it as
Wyon.
He looks very boyish to me. He looks younger.
Oh no, he looks like he is a dad confirmed, but he looks like a dad, like a dad.
Like dad strength.
Yeah, he's a dad, like go to your room, son.
23 years old with old man
Zion
strength.
Williamson
laying down the law. Yeah, in the
for
household.
Zion
He looks like that
Jr.
kind of dad.
He was ripped sitting there at that podium.
Yeah.
Look good, no question.
He kind of was like an actor to me with this. Like, you could have seen him, sitting next to Denzel in some kind of movie, just playing the mean mugging guy, like Training Day or something.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
I mean, he's lost weight before, not to this extent.
Is he in a
This is the
contract
best
year?
I've ever seen him look.
Right, but it's never obviously stayed
Been to
off.
the show, you wouldn't know.
That is
Yeah,
a
but
fact.
Barkley, Charles Barkley, who's similar, couldn't lose weight for many, many years. Then he lost it, got to Phoenix, and kept it off.
Come on, man.
That dry heat. In
He got an
Phoenix.
MVP out of it. Maybe Zion gets one good year.
They don't call me Championship Chuck.
There is no excuse now for an athlete to be overweight. Vitamin O, guys.
Oh,
What was that?
Vitamin O.
Oh.
Ozempic, whatever.
Oh.
Well, yeah, but I
They
mean,
solved it. It's over.
that can't be the safest way for an athlete. to
yeah,
lose.
Ozempic
No.
is about reducing your appetite and your calories. Like, to be an NBA player, I still think you need to eat healthy and exercise.
Okay,
a lot.
but how do you think Zion Williamson was losing weight? Okay, the boxing. Do you think he was eating more or less?
I think he was eating more. I think he was eating a lot, but healthy.
Yeah, you burn a lot of calories doing cardio.
Did you hear the workouts he was doing? He has a trainer who's like big into what do you call that when you mix different kinds of
Working
workouts?
out.
Yeah, I know
Cross
what
training.
you're talking about.
Cross training. Yeah.
CrossFit, yeah, sure.
I was to say he's
Guys,
big.
he's a professional athlete playing
Yeah.
basketball. You think cardio was an issue?
Maggie, if you trade gumbo for some lettuce and some vegetables
And some grilled chicken.
yeah, some
Exactly.
grilled
You could do
chicken.
that with Ozempic.
No, but I don't think you need that to be Zion. To wait, you'd be fine.
Maggie has a long-time gym bro for the past 9 months.
Yeah. Enlighten me.
I'm telling you, man, it's the cardio.
Here's what he said.
Cardio is key.
CrossFit Jesus next to me.
Listen to this, Maggie. He said,
Jesus.
we came up with a plan from boxing to working out on the football field to just a lot of different random workouts.
Yeah.
I don't even know what working out on the football field means, but that's
Yeah.
exciting.
You wanna
Just
know
throwing
what?
the pigskin around.
You want to know who else has said that?
Run the
Every
post
person
route.
on Ozempic.
He's running routes with Spencer Rattler.
People on Epic like, wow, you look different. Yeah, I've been working out on the football field. What does that even mean?
I've been boxing and hiking.
Boxing, yes, that's like a bougie workout, but working out on the football field, that's
why
serious
LSU's
stuff.
passing offense looks so bad. They've been throwing to a guy who's 6'8".
Okay, thank you, folks.
Get
Coming
Zion
up,
out on tight end for the Saints. They need it.
He'd be good.
we've got so much more, including one NFL coach who's already dead man walking. Who is it? We'll tell you next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
This was on my do not playlist at my wedding. I know. That, the YMCA. Didn't want that at my wedding. 888-710-4ISN. You can still get your calls in on our great debate today. Which college football coach is most identifiable with one school? This is off of Mike Gundy getting shown the door at Oklahoma State. Sam is in Maryland.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Sam, who do you have, sir?
I'm curious if I asked you kind of the opposite of that question. Like, if I gave you a head coach, what school would you identify with that coach? Like, if I gave you Mike Leach, would you think of Tech? Would you think of Washington State? Would you think of Mississippi State? Same with Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
Do you think of Utah? Do you think of Florida? Do you think of Ohio State?
That's funny. I mean, for some coaches, this exercise just doesn't apply, right? Like, we pick guys like Joe Paterno and Bobby Bowden and Bear Bryant, Nick Saban, Lou Holtz. You know, if you're asking me Mike Leach,
Texas Tech for sure.
I was going to say it would.
Swing your sword, baby. I think he came up with that there, but I'm not sure. And I would say Urban, Ohio State, because of Urban, I believe he's from that part of the country, right? Like,
see, when I think Urban Meyer, I think Florida, but most recently, yes, he was Ohio State, but to me, I guess my first word association would be Florida. Sam, thank you, sir.
Yeah,
thank you for calling in.
But Urban went to Ohio State, I believe. So that's the only reason I would. Let's see.
I thought you go to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Urban?
Was that the whole thing of why people thought he was going to be coaching Notre Dame because he went there?
Okay. Let's double check this.
Let me go to Chris, who's in Lexington, Kentucky. Chris, who is the college football coach most identifiable with one school?
Morning, Maggie. Great show as always. Well, I chose this one. Actually, I wanted Lou Holtz, but Bogus already took it. Being from Western Pennsylvania, being a Pitt fan, Don Nehlen at West Virginia. 20 years there, 217 wins in 20 years. I think he's ranked 17th all time. Basically put that program on the map, and they've really not got back to that level since he retired, Maggie, in 2001.
Yeah, Chris, it's a great one. And I actually just saw, I think they were honoring him not too long ago. They gave him some new honor, and, it's great because some of these coaches, like I think about, like Manny, this is not just to call Manny out, but I don't think you remember who he was, right?
Negative ghostwriter.
Right. He would have been coaching long before. Chris, it's a great one for the coaches who put these programs on the map. Do you have your Urban Meyer answer yet?
So Urban went to Cincinnati, I'm sorry, but he got a master's at Ohio State. Then he was an assistant at Notre Dame, but he's from Toledo, right? Like so he's definitely like an Ohio raised and that's a big part of his identity as well. So yeah, Florida was pretty iconic.
We all remember him dancing at the restaurant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I know. You bring it up once every 2 weeks.
Visiting his grandkids.
Yeah.
But I feel like, but it's funny about Mike Leach, I think of wild offense, and I think of Texas Tech, right? Like that program would just, they sort of, in my mind, invented that air raid kind of thing. They didn't invent it. So that's a great question. We could run down 10 coaches who did 2 different programs.
I was also thinking for Leach, though, how long was he at Washington State?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's just one of those guys. Yeah, Washington State, he was actually there for 8 years, Texas Tech for 10, and Mississippi State for 3.
Yeah, I mean, here's the question now. Is everybody going to be in multiple jobs?
Well, if we're asking who's the next, Mike Gundy, Kirk Ferentz kind of guy, who's going to be the next coach who's at somewhere for 20 years? We talked about this with Dan Lanning.
Yeah, I don't think he will.
But where do you go? After Oregon, you're in the Big Ten. You have resources.
Yeah, I mean, will the SEC call him back? He was an assistant in Alabama.
But you don't even think Alabama's a great job anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, Alabama, these programs, Alabama, LSU, probably not Georgia because he'll stay there.
Kirby.
I don't know. But here's the thing. To get a raise, you have to go into the job market sometimes. There might be massive offers.
Not if Phil Knight's your benefactor. You might not have to.
Yeah, but it's a long career. How old is Dan Lanning?
He's really young. But I think that the only place he would go from Oregon would probably be the NFL.
Yeah, that could be. And then he could come back in another program. Yeah, he's 39. I mean, Joe Pa was at Penn State, we just did it for 53 years. There's no way Dan Lanning's going to be at Oregon for 53 years.
Probably not.
Kirby could be the guy. He's already been there since 2016.
I was going to say Dabo, who I believe has already been at Clemson for 12 years.
Yeah.
But they are obviously on hard times right now at 1-3, losing to Syracuse.
Week 7 for Dabo, let alone more years.
All right, you can go vote at Maggie and Pearl. Tomorrow we'll be doing our King of the Mountain. The 1984 San Francisco 49ers go up against the 1983 LA Raiders. Tune in for that.
The Raiders.
You know us, all the current sports topics. Thank you, EJ Stewart. Thank you, Manny Rodriguez, Andrew Bogusch, Andrew Kaplan. We knows.